It's Thursday night, and Netters Network is sitting down with returning guest and friend of the channel, Tom Conkle. He will update us on his independent film project, Island in the Stars, and let us know all that he's been up to. That's this Thursday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern, on Netters Network. Every Sunday evening, Aged Boomer and Papa Pacelli bring you the rundown of the week's geek news, or at least what they think is interesting. You may have heard about it somewhere else, but Boomer and Pacelli put a spin on it you likely won't hear anywhere else. It's Geeky Geezers, every Sunday evening at 8 Central, 9 Eastern. Happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. How's everyone doing tonight? Welcome, welcome. So glad you guys could be here for a very special Halloween double feature. Literally 2 Halloween films. In my mind, the only 2 Halloween films. The original Halloween and Season of the Witch. Because John Carpenter had originally envisioned his Halloween film series to be an anthology series. He never intended to continue to keep doing sequel after sequel of Michael Myers all the time. But you know what? We'll get into all that in a little bit. First, let me say hi to this beautiful lady who you see sitting next to me right here, but actually she's sitting right over the monitor right there. Netter of Netters Network, how you doing, my dear, and what are you sipping on?
I'm doing well for a Monday.
For a Monday, right? Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, taste went surprisingly well. I didn't have any major hiccups at work, because usually Mondays, you can guarantee that they will screw up your entire day. It's like you will plan, you're like, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and that never happens. But today, that actually happened. So I'm really happy with that. And I am sipping on, what am I sipping on? A Meyer brand sparkling water berry flavored, because I still have a few left. And we're going to seriously need to go shopping on Saturday because I'm running out. Yeah, but other than that, I'm doing really well. How are you, my love?
I am doing well. Not as great a Monday as you had, but I'm hanging in there. So I am drinking a Diet Dr. Pepper that I'm actually already almost through.
Okay, I can't have you broken.
No, can't be broken. And for those of you that are really here for Sin of Sin's Corner, she will be here, but she's running late because she is on her way home from the Regal mystery film, which she's not going to tell us what that is tonight. We won't find that out until tomorrow when she goes live with Deleted Scenes.
And you can tell that I am sitting right in front of Troy because you just saw me.
She just handed me a drink, exactly. She's
right
got a fridge right next to her. Yeah, it works perfectly. There you go. So let me say hi to those that are here right now, starting with the early girl who catches the I don't want to say worm. That sounds weird. But welcome, Lady Mist. She was here at 6:29. Not as early as she usually is, but she's still first. So welcome, Lady Mist. And, of course, Big Al. Boomer last night said that his channel got struck just for me singing it, but I'm going to take a chance. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Have a great stream, my friends. Beware the boogeyman. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Did he seriously get a strike last night from you singing?
Not last night, previous year when I had done it on some stream we were sharing. But that's YouTube for you. What can I tell you? And of course, Outlaw Bill. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. And it was nice hanging out with you last night. And Curtis Selby says, "Evening, folks. On a panel of a watch party, just in case I don't make it in. Wanted to leave a like, a comment, and share out the stream. Thank you. You are. See, this guy, he is such a supporter. He is such a cheerleader. It's folks like y'all that really, really make this thing work. Like the bird woman of YouTube, Connie Cleary. She says, "Hail, chat. Hail, hail." And she says, "Hail to me personally." Thanks so much for being here, Connie. And, of course, Netter's saying hi to all of y'all, getting your hi sweeties in there.
And if I missed somebody, please let me know, because I think I got everybody, but just in case.
Yep. And Jesse Green 619, hello, my friend. Good to see ya. And it's pinned to the top, but I did pin that Cosme link to the top so you can watch the film along with us. It really is the easiest way, even if you do have your own copy, just so that we're all synced up and whatnot. JPRPH1 over on the Netter's side saying, "Hail, welcome, my friend. Good to see you."
And I also have the Cosme link pinned to the top of my chat now.
And FKHC 2005, whom some know as Tim. I was just saying we missed you getting into the Cosme and dropping your memes. Someone else beat you to it. So we get worried when we don't see you when we're expecting to see you. And then JPRPH1 jumped over to my side. Thank you, my friend. Space Fraggle Troy, hail. Good to see you, my friend. And let's see. Yes, I do see what you posted. That is the Georgetown. What is that? The Georgetown Steps. Absolutely, I do see that. That is very cool. Let's see, and of course, PJ of Oral Nation, whom I refer to as the business manager around here, because he has given me so much advice that has gotten me to where this channel is today. I super appreciate that, man. And of course, Logical Spark, and that's why the Bangles wrote the song Manic Monday. Well, yeah, among other reasons, but yes, that is absolutely true. Time, it goes so fast when you're having fun. Gorilla's Random Thoughts, haven't seen you in a while. Hey, keep it down. I can't hear myself cuss out this car. Be careful driving. Don't text and chat and whatever and drive. Get home safely so that maybe you can watch some of these films with us. And
Logical Spark, I did
Silver Shamrock
say hi, drop a high speedy for you. So there's one there now.
Shamrock Shakes come out, I believe, in February. I gotta be honest, I never really liked them.
February or March? I thought March was...
I don't know, whenever
March is the Shamrock
St. Patrick's Day
holiday.
is. Yeah.
And Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips. How you doing, sweetie?
Haven't gotten there yet, I'm presuming, because I haven't said hi to Enigma Severus yet. Welcome. And Shadow of the Raven, salute. And I said hi to Gorilla Random Thoughts. And D07, hooty hoo. Welcome. And I'm guessing some of you guys are over on Sin's channel. I'm hoping her channel went live when it was supposed to.
That will explain why I'm sitting there going, why am I not seeing these people?
Yeah, no. It's not just your stream and mine. It's also Sin's channel, too. And now I've lost where I was. D07, Enigma Severus. There he is. There's Wade. Welcome, my friend. Good to see ya. And I think that catches us up. He says, thanks, Troy, for retweeting the merch of mine. Yeah, that's... And I think there's a lot of people here that are in those X groups with us. If you're in those groups and you're dropping links to a post you made on X and you want that broadcast out, you just drop it in that group and I will forward it. And I'll drop a little martini so I saw it and sent it out. That's how you boost the signal. That's how we help each other out, as PJ says. Together we grow.
Outlaw Bill says, I have 64 gigabyte RAM in my PC, so I can have you up on 3 monitors. Woohoo!
Wow. Well, that's, you want one monitor for the movie, one monitor maybe for the YouTube stream. Then I guess you could have, I don't want to know what you got on your third one. It's none of my business. It's just, so anyway, I did want to show off. This is why I'm on camera. You're not used to seeing me on a Monday, so. But I did pull out my NECA. I guess this would be about 9-inch. This is actually a Halloween 2 figure. I'm not sure what differentiates it as a Halloween 2 from a Halloween 1. But you guys know how I feel about NECA figures. They look like Migos, but they're way overpriced, and they're not worth... Well, actually, they have never been worth what I think the Mego figures are worth at half the price. But I have heard that NECA has been improving their quality. About, I want to say 2 years ago, Michael of Retro Blasting did a video about NECA figures and how the joints were tight and they would break. Sometimes they shipped broken. They were literally broken, in package. And you know how people are, where they get this fanatic loyalty to the brand. And they're like, well, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to boil some water and you put the joint in it and that loosens it up. And it's like, these are toys. You should not have to do that with toys. You don't have to do that with Mego figures. Why do you have to do it with these? Well, apparently they've started getting better. But I've never had cause to open this because I had made myself a custom Michael Myers Mego figure that I would show you, but I can't get to it because...
Where is it?
It's on the other side where I can't get to it. Because things. So I'm showing you what I can. But there you go. So that obviously Michael Myers, some call him the Shape, would have been my icon if I was doing an icon. But I'm not doing an icon tonight. So there we go. 9 inches, John Holmes says. I'll show you something bigger. Yeah, okay, there you go. There you go. Most of it's going to be wasted then, because it's not a matter of how long you are. It's where you're putting it. Anyway, so now that I've just gotten demonetized, I am going to presume that almost everybody in the stream has already seen the original Halloween at least through once. Oh yeah, you wanted to drop by. Thanks so much, man. I super appreciate the support.
I know I've seen one of the Halloweens.
Mm-hmm.
It's whichever one it is where Michael Myers ends up under the water at the end.
Nope, that's Friday the 13th.
Oh, is that Friday the 13th?
But,
okay, then never mind. I haven't seen this.
No, that's not true. You have seen this, and you have seen the second one we'll be watching tonight, because I believe, and Big Al, if you're still in the chat, you can help me remember. I know that we did streams of both of these films previously. I'm thinking they might have been over on Big Al's channel. They may have been on my channel on a Friday night. I don't know. but I know that we have. Both are good. I agree. And I personally feel, Jesse, that Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is way underrated. I think there's too many things, too many people that, think it's all about Michael Myers, and this one didn't have Michael Myers in it, so it sucks. Well, maybe stop and rewatch the film, because, yeah, Big Al says we did, so I was right. Gorilla Random Thought says, what's Halloween? Well, you're about to find out if you're going to be watching along with us. That is, assuming that you're home and you can safely watch the movie with us. Don't watch horror movies and drive, unless it's Christine. Then, I don't know, whatever. And then, don't get your car jealous or something. Anyway, I'm all queued up. I'm going to go ahead and get started. We are at the 19-minute mark. I did know that Sin would be late. Because
she's watching mystery movies.
She's watching a mystery movie, and we won't know what that is until tomorrow. But right now, we are going to go ahead and get started. I'm obviously at the 00 mark. I have the Halloween special edition, but that doesn't really matter because it's the release version that you have if you have the Blu-ray, if you have whatever other version. But for those of you watching live, it doesn't matter because you're going to go ahead and click on that Cosme link, right-click, so that you can have two tabs open, one to watch the movie, one to still hear us, chit-chatting.
What's interesting is I don't need to right-click. I just click on it and it automatically opens a new tab for me.
Oh, you may have a setting that I haven't set, but
I'm just special.
Whatever. But and salute, deleted scenes. We're about to get started, so yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Oops, I've got the wrong mouse. We'll go ahead and get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. And it starts right out with that John Carpenter music. That is just classic stuff. In fact, even this font and the coloring of it and whatnot is just a little bit Halloween creepy. We'll be listening in. Fair enough. Mystery movie just got out. I'm on the road. Oh yeah, that's right, because you're at the mystery movie too. That makes sense. A Deborah Hill production. Yeah, one of the best themes. I'll tell you what. I did not play the piano, but I was able to plunk this tune out by ear.
It doesn't seem to be much of a tune.
It's not. It's very repetitive. It's more of a mood piece than anything. And even the jack-o'-lantern is very iconic, right? I mean, the basic carving of it is pretty straightforward, but that you got that slice right down the nose into the mouth, which I'm guessing that was not intentional. It was, a mistake on the part of whoever was carving it, which is pretty natural, pretty normal. I could see that happening. And, but yeah, that qualifies it as specifically the Halloween jack-o'-lantern.
I'm sure about Halloween. I mean, jack-o'-lantern's eyes aren't very creepy.
Well, it depends on who's carving it and how, and how far a distance you see it. Haddonfield, Illinois. Fictional town, but it certainly feels like the kind of place I grew up in. Which I think was, of course, the intent. I also have to think that little chant that the kids do at the beginning kind of sets up what John Carpenter's trying to do with this whole Halloween feel, right? When I said it was an anthology, and especially as we get into Season of the Witch, we'll be talking about some of that Halloween lore. John Carpenter wrote the theme music at the last minute, 2 weeks before the movie hit theaters. That's nuts. But I don't doubt it. I do not doubt it. And bonjour. Welcome. And can I just say, there was something about watching these horror movies with the gratuitous, love scenes and nudity, just at the risk of making a pun, the titillation of it. Back in the late 70s, early 80s, that was the thing, Those days are long gone because puritanical blue-haired weirdos.
Okay.
Still funny how quick that guy finished with Judith. Yes. Yeah, well, it's not funny for Judith. Especially since that's going to be their last time. I hope you don't consider that too much of a spoiler. I mean, I think we all know where this is going. Now we got PG-13. No, it should be R. Get a good F word in there and maybe, some F words under the covers, too. Is that a fondue plate? That's pretty cool. Not the kind of thing I would, have out because I wouldn't use it that often. Oh, so 70s. Yeah, that was poor Judith.
Yeah, that wasn't very long.
I'll tell you, if they had added a scene of her, finishing up on her own, I would not, have been surprised. It would have been appropriate. Nate's got George Takei. Oh my. I always had a problem with this scene. The camera angles are that of a grown man, not a little kid. Well, I'll tell you something. Well, for one thing, it's because the cameraman is a grown man. But the other thing is the camera angles are very specific to not show segments of the rooms and things that are just out of your line of sight that are unfinished. This house was condemned. And so only the specific shots they wanted to show you were good to see. The mask here kind of helps with some of that too. There was like cracking paint and ceiling falling down and stuff.
Stabby, stabby, stabby.
Stab, stab, stab. Gorilla random thoughts. Titties. Yes, yes.
Yeah, she could tell who the boys are.
Yes. And Kenny Pham, I used to like Halloween 2, 1981, more than the original, but the original is now my most favorite. That is absolutely fair. I got to admit, because I usually watch 1 and 3 almost exclusively, I've forgotten most of the details of the second movie. And that's raspberry jam on that knife because he just had a pie. Not that YouTube knows what we're even watching, so it doesn't really matter.
True. But if this was Greystone Place, he would tell you it's raspberry
Exactly.
jam.
That's
Smiths Grove, Illinois. Is that a real place?
No, I don't think so. At least not that I'm aware of.
Alexa, is there a Smiths Grove, Illinois?
From TripAdvisor.com. Smiths Grove is a small town with some nice antique shops.
Okay, well, I guess there is a Smiths Grove then.
Now I gotta Google it to see.
Now you gotta Google it and tell me where it's at.
Yeah. Smiths Grove, Illinois.
Because I think that would imply that Haddonfield is near to it. Hello, nurse.
Huh.
Kind of miss the days when nurses dressed like that. And it's not a Halloween costume. She really is a nurse. Well, I mean, the character is, obviously. Your Alexa reacted too? Okay, because it could hear you. It probably just did again. Blofeld, yes. Yes, exactly. But you know what? That scar cleared up real nice. Stabbity, stab, stab. Yes, exactly.
Oh, I think our AI is off her rocker because I'm not finding anything on Google.
Well, she didn't. You had specified Illinois, but she never repeated it. So she may not have even been talking about Illinois.
No, there is a Smith's Grove. I'm now looking at a map, but if I Google, like from our house to Smith's Grove, Illinois, nothing comes up. But I just put in Smith's Grove, Illinois. Oh, wait a minute. There's a Smith. It's not Illinois. It's Kentucky.
That doesn't surprise me. Mostly filmed in Pasadena, California. Yes, that's true.
It would take us 6 hours to drive there.
And I do think it's very, it's very impressive the way they choose filming locations in California that still look like the Midwest.
Why are all the psycho patients just wandering around in the rain?
Well, she was just commenting on that.
Yeah, I know. Why are they all wandering around in the rain?
Well, you're going to see why in just a moment. He knows enough to be concerned. Why would you open your window? One, it's a dangerous circumstance, but two, you're going to get wet. It's raining, girl.
And they always fall.
Yep.
Always.
Well, in fairness, that's mud on a decline, so of course she would slip on it.
And the psycho patient just stole her car.
For her sake, better that than, ending up dead. Yeah, I've heard that question too. How does he know how to drive? I don't know. We don't know what his experience has been in the past, 20 years? Something like that? See, I swear, this looks like this could have been, Brookfield, Illinois.
Yep.
LaGrange Park. I just had a terrible thought, Nate. Someone might decide to do a prequel that shows, how Michael Myers learned how to drive. This Halloween, Michael drives. $15 years. Thank you. Okay. And he was like 10 years old, at the time of the murders, so he's got to be about 25.
Something like that.
Well, yes, you do see palm trees, but that's not what you mostly see. You could easily overlook them. Like, I honestly didn't notice. We just Slugbug
Multicolored.
greenish with a primer hood.
I would just say Slugbug Christmas.
Yeah, right. So Jamie Lee Curtis, we were just watching her mom on Saturday over on Big Al's channel.
So it's been empty all this time?
Yes, presumably. Yes, I am. I got the key. Yeah, see, it literally is run down, and they kind of obscure that fact in the first scene. I mean, you could make the same argument. Where did he get the jumpsuit from? Because didn't he have like a hospital gown when he left? There's things that happened between then and now. I told everybody. They didn't do anything. See, there you go, Nate. They actually even asked the question in the movie. So it's not like they didn't think about it. I think it's better not to know. I think, it just demonstrates how resourceful he is. Or like I said, you don't know if he didn't see TV shows and movies while he was in the... because they tend to do that. They drug you up and they put you in front of a TV. So he's probably seen people driving. He's probably kind of figured it out. So we get a lot of, foreshadowing and, you get this impression that, she's being watched and stalked by Michael, when really all it is she happened to be the person that went up to his door. It's like, this is my house. This Captain Planet reboot is odd? Okay. Well, I mean, they're not wrong. We know he is. I had a situation pretty similar to that when I was a kid, and I had absolutely no idea what they were talking about. I had no idea what a boogeyman was. I pictured some disco dancer.
That was Pumpkin.
Which I suppose would be scary in and of itself. Welcome, Sin of Sin's Corner.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I am rushed. I just got home.
Okay, relax.
Yeah, okay, good.
If you want, go get yourself a drink or whatever. As you said, you know this movie.
I do. I know this movie. I've seen it way too many times. It's ridiculous.
Everyone was like, Nate was saying, well, how did he know how to drive? And I'm like, we don't need to know. And then, of course, they actually ask the question. In
They
the
do address that.
Like,
right.
And I'm like, we don't
around
need
here
to
was
know.
Giving him lessons.
But then I said, I had a terrible thought. I said, they might get the idea to decide to do a prequel just to show how he learns how to drive.
Well, they kind of address that whole, later you find out the guy that he was arguing with when he said that to.
Right.
He's
right.
like a repeating character, not the same actor, but a repeating character,
right.
obviously. And you find out there's like all these connections with the whole cult of Thorn and all that nonsense.
Right.
So you could.
Well, if that's your twist the plot version,
like,
yes.
That's how we learned to drive.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saving it until we get. Well, you know what? We're kind of in an expository position here, so this is how I've mapped it out.
Okay.
You can, depending on how you want to do your little twist the plot in your head, you can go with the most obvious: Halloween 78, Halloween 2 81, Halloween 4 The Return of Michael Myers, Halloween 5 The Revenge of Michael Myers, and Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers from 1995.
And then there's Halloween. What was it? What number was the last one you had? What was the last Halloween you said? What number?
I didn't. It doesn't
number
give
6,
me a number.
The Curse.
No,
Number 6.
what you were just saying. Halloween Curse of Michael.
Michael
what number
Myers.
is that?
Yeah.
That's
6, I
think.
guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
6.
Then there's
Pretty
Halloween
sure.
7. Michael finally gets a girlfriend.
Well, but he ends up killing her. So I mean, what's the point? So that's the first line. The second line is Halloween 1, Halloween 2, H2O,
yes.
and then Resurrection.
Oh no, I don't count Resurrection at all.
Well,
that doesn't exist.
The third one is Halloween 2018, which is the exact same title.
Yes.
Halloween Kills,
We don't count
and
those.
Halloween Ends.
We don't count those.
And this, well, I'm with you, but I'm just saying,
like, those are
this
the
is
different timelines. Yes.
this is how it became a stinking twisted plot. But
Yes.
we're not done, because of course we have Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, which stands alone,
Yes. It
and
does.
we have the 2007 and 2009 Halloween and Halloween 2.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about the Rob Zombie ones.
Yup.
Oh, okay.
This is why I call it a choose your own adventure.
It literally is, honestly. I have my favorites. I have two of my paths are my favorite. Well, I'm not crazy about Halloween 2. That one, it went a little overboard with some of the stuff. I don't like the supernatural aspect of Michael Myers at all. At all. So in the second one, he was doing stuff that's just not possible. Walking, just casually walking through a glass door.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
Burning and being shot in the face, and then he still lives in a later movie.
So, I've got my custom, boxes that I do, and so this one represents that first line, right? So Halloween 2, 4, 5, and 6, right?
Okay.
Problem is, I don't have Halloween 4 yet. I haven't gotten it, so it's incomplete. Then I've got, which one is this? This is the one that goes Halloween 2, and
H2O?
it's supposed to be H2O and Resurrection, but I don't currently have them in here. And then this one I haven't even done a cover for. This one would be the Halloween Kills and Ends, but
So you keep all your pick your own adventures in separate little containers.
separate ones.
Depending on your mood, right?
Exactly. Which, honestly, they will sit on the shelf and I probably won't even watch
Never
them.
watched them.
But I am a completist. I have to do that. And keep in mind, that means 3 copies of the original Halloween.
Right, because that one ties in to all the different, you can't have any of the other storylines without the first one.
Yes. But that doesn't mean they're original copies. Fair use. Just saying.
Oh my.
I gotta say, though, it does kind of bother me seeing the girls smoking. It's just so ubiquitous. Really? Yeah. Because they're so young. And yes, we did see kids. Well, keep in mind this was 78.
Yes.
I wasn't in high school until almost 10 years later.
Okay.
So when I was in high school, yeah, there were still kids this age that were smoking, but not very many. It wasn't as ubiquitous as this.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what what teen kids were like back in the 70s because I was not a teen in the 70s.
Right.
So I don't know how accurate that sort of
Yeah, they
portrayal
smoked.
was.
Mm-hmm.
Did they? Okay.
It was, yeah, the farther back you go, the more common it was.
No more, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Why is that handyman wearing a William Shatner mask?
Oh, do you have the link? Am I supposed to go somewhere?
Oh, yeah, pinned to the top of the... oh, yeah, you don't have... Let me
Sorry,
drop it
yeah.
again.
Okay.
Do I still have it saved in my memory here? Yes, I do. There you do. There you go.
Okay.
In fact, you might want to copy-paste that into your
I'm
own...
going to have to, yeah. It won't let me click on it. So I'm going to put it in another... I'm going to put it in my second monitor up
Let me
here.
give you oh, you haven't dropped anything in chat for me to get a hold of you and give you a blue wrench.
Oh, no, I haven't, have I? Oh, do I have to log in?
Well, we've been talking.
I know,
So,
that's true.
No need to type if you're talking.
Is this Cosme? Do I have to sign up or do I have to... I thought I had to... Do I have to sign up?
You probably have to log in.
Okay, I thought I had a login thing, but it's not acting like I do. Okay, how far are you into the movie?
We are, well, they just, they walk past the hedge where he popped his head out and disappeared.
Oh, you're a bit far into it then. Okay. All right. There was someone cosplaying with a hedge as Michael Myers in a hedge at Dragon Con this year.
Oh my gosh.
The hedge was on wheels.
That is so funny. I love that.
I didn't see him. I really wish I could have. But I saw pictures of him.
Are you one of those types that, because you're a fan, you know all the different styles of the masks that have been put out?
I don't think I know the masks down to finite detail because I'm not a fan of all of the movies equally.
Sure.
It's the first movie that's...
Well, let's be honest. Some of the masks...
Yeah.
Some of them in some
H2O,
of the movies were terrible.
Ooh, that mask in H2O was...
When I feel this way about all the franchises of everything. Yeah. When the fans are doing better costumes than Hollywood is... Right. They're not justifying their budgets.
Yeah. Bear with me. I'm gonna have to sign up, I guess. So.
Gosh, I also remember having to carry armfuls of books like that. That was
annoying. I do too. Oh my gosh! And the backpacks.
There were some days
heavy.
when my arms were just aching.
Oof. Yeah.
Well, that's why I used to put my books in a backpack.
I did too. Yeah. But then sometimes the backpack would get too full and I would have to hold stuff.
So this is the scene where she looks out and sees him by the
yard?
The clothesline? Yeah. Have you ever seen the parody of that one?
Yeah. I think it's hilarious.
It's great.
Do you guys ever watch Michael Myers of Decatur?
Pardon me?
His YouTube channel. There's a YouTube channel called Michael Myers of Decatur. You must check it out.
Oh, okay, I'll have to check it out.
Yes, you must. It's hilarious.
Michael Myers of Decatur.
They have a whole... He's like a serviceman, and he loves Michael Myers, and so he cosplays as Michael Myers all the time.
Is he the one that did that parody?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Now he's got his son doing the cosplay stuff with him, so his son walks around with like a knife sticking out of his eye. It's really funny. And he's just a little tiny thing. It's fun. Oh, there we go. I see it. It's playing. All right, let me save this password because I had to create an account.
The other thing, too, is, and this is something that obviously I didn't think about back in the 70s and 80s when I was watching these films, but you got these actresses that are all like in their 20s and 30s.
I don't remember how old the other girls were, but Jamie, she was probably the baby of the whole group. She was 19 when they filmed this.
Yep.
She was quite young. And she thought they were going to fire her, like after the first day or something. She talked about how John called her, and she was like, "Oh, this is it. This is I'm going to be fired because I suck," you know. And he was just basically complimenting her on her performance,
nice.
you know, like making her feel good about how things went.
And
she was a
see
better
what I was saying
actor
earlier?
than these seasoned actors that were in here with her.
Oh yeah. Well, let's face it. I mean, she had I'm sure she got some coaching.
Oh yeah, of course, because of who her mama was.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What were you saying?
I was going to say, guys, I was mentioning earlier, if you look around, all you're seeing is deciduous and conifers. Yes, there are some palm trees, but I'm even looking for them now and I'm not seeing them. That's how good they were at not showing that.
I often forget that this was filmed in the summer and that they had to recycle the leaves.
That's right, exactly.
To the shoot, everybody go around gathering up the leaves. And this guy here, this cemetery guy here, he was the voice of oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the mouse in Secret of Nim, the Dr. Mouse, the guy who gave her the potion at the very beginning.
What's
his name?
Was it Mr. Aegis?
Yes, Mr. Aegis. Yes, that's him. And I didn't know that for the longest time.
I can hear it. Now I won't be able to not hear it. Yeah.
It bugged me when I would hear him. I'm like, his voice sounds so familiar, but I never put two and two together until I somehow saw it mentioned somewhere.
And hello, Travis Mitchell. I've been kind of not focused on the chat.
Oh yeah,
how are we doing, guys?
And Cosme chats here.
H3 has gotten better with each rewatch for me. Yes, I agree. While 78 has actually gotten worse for me.
Oh,
okay, that's fair. Welcome, Samuel Proctor. For their decade, the farther back you go, the older the 20-year-olds look. Yeah, kind of true, Mike. That's an interesting point.
It is true,
and it's partly because of there was this idea of what you needed to look like when you left the house. You had to dress nice, you had to be sharp, you had to be, you had to present yourself, and kids have kind of cared less and less and less about that.
I also
kind of
laziness. Feel that in a lot of ways, teenagers just seem so much more mature in general.
Yeah.
A long time ago, many decades
Absolutely.
ago. An 15, 16, 17-year-old in the 50s was like a mid 20-year-old or something.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of leaving a 14, 15-year-old home alone watching the baby, no one batted an eye at that. In fact, she would go to other people's houses to babysit. That's basically the premise of this movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
And nowadays you say that, that's your child abandonment, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, then somebody's not raising that 15-year-old right.
I was a latchkey kid, and I took care of my baby brothers all the time, and I was like 10, 11 years old, home alone, taking care of my baby brothers.
Welcome, Joe, and John. And yes, we are watching The Best Halloween. Actually, the only one with Michael Myers. We're going to watch the other one right after this, which doesn't have Michael Myers in it.
Well,
because Halloween is an anthology. And Scott Hughes, welcome. Good to see you, my friend.
The Enigma.
I didn't look. What county are they in?
Oh,
it doesn't say. It just says Sheriff's Deputy County. Because that would be interesting to know what county this is supposed to be set in.
What county
We
was
know
supposed to be in?
What town, yeah. It's a fictional town.
Right, right.
I'd be cool with it if you found out that the county was real, like Cook, DuPage, whatever.
That'd be interesting. They never really let you know what part of the state, like what location of the state it is. You just know it's.
See, because like on Tuesdays we were talking about that with Twin Peaks. They give the exact location of where Twin Peaks is. You can go and find that on Google Maps. And it's the middle of the woods. There's nothing there, you know?
Oh, okay.
But in that world, you know where it's at, you know? Netter, Space Fraggle's asking for an update on the monetization. I haven't even talked to you about it in 24 hours.
Yeah. Oh, and hi, Travis Mitchell. Last I looked, which was this morning, it still said I was pending, so we'll see. Or in progress, that's what it says, in progress. I'll take a look in just a second after I say hello.
I like how she said that. Shut up. For some reason, shut up.
And there may be, as you suggest, well, you don't want to go too serious about the age of the actresses. But there may be an age difference between them. But there's definitely a personality difference. It's very clear that Lori is the responsible
more serious-minded. Yes. Yeah.
It's like I was just saying you can even tell by the way she dresses. It's a little bit, not nerdy, but a little...
Geeky.
Geeky. I was going to say frumpy, but that's a little too harsh.
It's kind of plain.
You know what I mean, yeah. And obviously she's the one they trust to watch the children. It turns out to be a pretty darn good babysitter when you think about it.
Yeah.
You know? And I probably would not want the other two babysitting my kids, you know? I mean...
Yeah, it's funny.
Okay.
Lori is like... You're talking about like the way she dressed?
Yeah.
That's kind of like that's the way I dressed. I did not dress like those other two girls. Because I had to always wear dresses.
And this is what I think is important, and I try to express this to people all the time. The way you dress is a form of communication. You're telling people something.
Yeah.
And if you dress like Lori does, I'm not interested in those things you think I might be interested in. And it should be very clear to you. You know, I am here to watch these kids. I am not here to have my boyfriend over and, you know, play patty cake. One strange detail is when
I totally
Loomis...
get you the reference now because I finally saw Who Framed Roger Rabbit for the first time.
Oh, actually, I didn't even realize I was making that reference.
I thought that's what
No,
you were doing.
because the patty cake concept predates.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why it's funny. Yeah. One strange detail is when Loomis finds the abandoned tow truck. They appear to be two inmate. There appear to be two inmate gowns. One in the car, one in the bushes, implying there could be someone with him. Oh, that's interesting.
Okay.
Or
It's
he
just
was
a
wearing
mistake.
two gowns because he didn't want his butt hanging out the back.
Right. Well,
Yes.
but he has a flap in the back.
Oh,
you can
okay,
see
okay.
you can see it like when he's like clambering down, I guess, getting into the car. You can see the slit. You don't see his butt, but you see that it's a.
I guess I wasn't paying that close attention.
I
to
have
his
watched
butt.
this so many times. No, it doesn't. Like you just noticed that it's a with a slit in the back.
And
I have watched
just
this
checked.
so many. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I just checked my account. Once again, it's trying to tell me I've got a second AdSense account open. It's like, I do not.
We're going to have to find some way to get some kind of communication with them. See, this is what I was talking about. The busted up, torn down wall, that was there in the first scene, but they're very careful not to show you that.
Oh, yes, right. I've heard that on the audio commentary about how they were very strategic, the way they filmed.
Yep.
that opening scene because this was kind of a rundown place.
Someone. Oh, wait a minute. Zombie Box Review. Oh, yeah. Welcome, Zombie Box Review. Glad you're here. And the actress that plays Annie Brackett will show up in Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Right. Playing different characters, I'm certain.
Yeah.
Because
she's
it's
the ex-wife,
it's an
I
anthology
think.
thing. What's interesting is they could very easily have all the same actors.
Just playing different characters.
Just the way they did with, what was that show, that series, American Horror Story or something like that? Yeah.
Well, they did have Jamie Lee Curtis doing voiceover. Her voice was on the PA system in Halloween 3.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that was her.
I just think of Yes Man when I see Jim Carrey's butt in the gown.
Oh,
he's driving a motorcycle.
We're back to that. They only had the money to hire him for 4 days for this first movie.
Wow.
And it went like, what an iconic role. Just 4 days worth of his time. And this was something that he is now most known for, even though he was a very established and accomplished actor.
Yeah.
Even then.
I was listening to a commentary about horror films in general recently, and someone was saying that because they are generally low budget and potentially high visibility, a lot of people that go on to become big name stars have been in horror films just because that's where you cut your teeth.
Was it last night we were talking about how you'd be surprised how many big name actors got their start in horror movies.
Might have done. I thought that Tom had made that comment today on Midnight's Edge. One pattern in this film that carries into the new trilogy is Michael only seems to target women. Killing men is if they're armed, engage him, or violate a boundary otherwise. Actually, I would say what you just described is true of just about everybody. He doesn't... Well, I don't know about the subsequent films, but here, he only kills people because they're in his house.
If they're in his way or whatever,
yeah.
Like how he killed them there in the house, Bob and what was that other chick's name?
And to some degree, it is kind of playing out, his childhood again. His sister having sex, so she gets dead.
Yeah.
These girls having sex, so they get dead.
Yep. It kind of like started the trope.
Right. You figure that if his sister's boyfriend hadn't been such a minute man, he probably would have been dead.
He might would have gotten it too. Yeah, he was quick. He specifically
this is why I don't mind her getting killed. She doesn't like the dog.
She doesn't like the dog. Yeah, that dog.
Well, the dog doesn't like her.
Dog doesn't.
Dogs
like
are
her.
usually a good judge of character.
Yeah.
I mean, that would really tick me off. It's like, don't help me. I refuse to watch the new... Scott Hughes says, well, let me bring it up because it's easier to read. I refuse to watch the new trilogy. I unfortunately saw the first movie of the new trilogy. After that, I checked out. I heard about the other two, and I'm glad I didn't care.
I love that first one. Love it. But boy, wow. Kills and ends. Ugh. I'm still angry about what David Gordon Green did.
I could see why you would say that, Darth Plato, but I think that's just projection. We have no specific indication that that's what it was about.
Well, the whole thing with his sister, that didn't come about until the second movie.
Yeah.
That wasn't even an original plan, actually.
Honestly, when I first saw this movie, and I've thought this all the way along, he was ticked because his sister should have been paying attention to him instead of screwing around.
Right.
Which is kind of the whole Voorhees thing, right? If you hadn't been screwing around, my son wouldn't be dead, you know? Yeah, this is something to keep in mind. When you're indoors and the lights are on and it's dark outside, people can see in. Just remember that. Middle of the day, it's the opposite way around.
I never understood why people with really curly hair would try and do a part. It does not look good.
I remember when I was first exposed to this film, most of it was with my back turned to the TV. Did I tell you guys the story?
I don't think so.
My mom used to take care of this old lady in this not so great part of town. She was a rich old lady, big mansion, but she was bedridden, very old and sick. So my dad and I would go and sit with her at night when she had night shift. And Halloween 2, I believe this was the time frame. Halloween 2 was getting ready to come out. It was the early 80s. And so they played Halloween 1 on TV as promo for Halloween 2. This was also when they showed that extra footage that they filmed, especially for the TV version.
Sure.
And we start watching this movie, and when it becomes clear early on that this is bad stuff, you know, killing. And I was raised without a TV, you guys. So
yeah,
anytime I was exposed to something, it was very, very impactful for me. Instead of changing the freaking channel, my parents just told me to turn around.
Oh,
I can hear everything.
That does not help. Yeah,
I can hear the mask, and I remember the scene when I remember all these different scenes that I could hear.
Yeah.
When he's standing there at the door watching her, she puts the key under the mat.
Yep.
When Annie gets stuck in the little, you know, how at the time wasn't watching it, but later when I finally watched it, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember hearing this scene and how creepy and scary it was. And then they told me he was dead. I turn around, oh hell no, he wasn't. He comes up again, and so it's just like I was scarred, forever because of that. And I still have nightmares about this crazy movie.
I have a very similar story with Poltergeist.
Oh,
my mother took me to see Poltergeist in the theater, and remember, we've had this conversation. This was in the days before PG-13. It didn't raise to the level of R, so it was PG.
Oh,
and
that face scene. Ooh,
yes, that freaked me the heck out.
And I saw it on TV. I was like, ugh.
Between that and the clown, I wanted out of there.
Yeah.
And my mom was getting ready to take me out of the theater, and she gets to the back of the theater. She goes, you know, I paid for this. I want to see this movie. So we stood in the back, and I had to hear all of that, especially, you moved the headstones, but you didn't move the bodies.
Oh,
well,
gosh.
Great. Now you're just filling my head with the images, which is worse than if I was watching the darn movie.
Exactly. Oh, man. Yeah, no TV. No, I wasn't Amish, but I did not have TV. In a lot of ways, I think it was probably good for me. Especially nowadays, kids have way too much screen time.
We had 2 televisions, actually 3 at one point, but only one was color. The one in my mom's room was black and white. The one on the counter in the kitchen was black and white. And to be honest with you, I didn't get to watch a lot of television. If my dad was home and watching sports,
he would be watching.
I was kind of sunk. If there was something I really wanted to see, sometimes my mom would let me watch it in the kitchen.
Okay, why is the laundry room like across the yard in a shed?
It's like an outhouse, isn't it? Like the way the outhouses used to be.
And does she really think that her little sister's going to hear her?
Well, that's not her sister.
She may think that Lindsay's the one that did it. Now, I want to go back and say the dog literally sacrifices himself trying to defend this house. He was a good boy.
He was. That's why he was barking. He wasn't barking at her in that scene.
And I don't know if you saw, Scott Hughes said, Sin, I first watched Halloween at the same time. I saw Halloween on TV in 81. And I was 8. My parents were the type that said, if you want to watch, fine, but don't
Oh.
complain if you can't sleep.
Well, that wasn't my situation.
She just hung up on him.
Oh, I thought she put the phone down. She put it down on the
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, it looked like she put it in the cradle.
Darth Plato makes a great point. Older houses didn't have laundry machines with them. Not sure about this house. And yeah, there is the implication that this is an older house that definitely needs renovation. So not only is she irresponsible, she's dumb.
And
Oh,
the
yeah.
little girl just closed the door again.
Yeah.
But they go out just fine. The door doesn't stick on when they leave.
Jeez.
Yeah, I knew that deleted. I had heard about that before.
And if the door gets stuck that much, y'all need to get that door fixed.
Agreed.
Jolly
she did
Time
that.
popcorn. You remember that?
Was that the kind inside the aluminum pan that you?
No, that
popped
was
in?
Jiffy Pop.
Oh,
that was
Jiffy Pop,
Jiffy
okay.
Pop. Jolly Pop was just a brand name. It came in a cylinder like that. They still have it, but it doesn't look as cool. See, I love that. You see him in the background
And
there,
then he's gone.
and then when you come back, he's gone. And everyone talks like, "Oh, that's like it's a new thing or something." No, they were doing that back in '78.
Oh, he's such a ninja.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that the clothes in the washer are the only clothes this girl owns? Because she's like, I can't come out. I got just a shirt on. You can't put more clothes on?
Well, this isn't her house.
This isn't her house. Yeah.
Oh.
All she has is the
She's
clothes that she had on.
babysitting the little girl.
She swiped somebody's shirt.
Okay, I thought that was her sister.
No, it's just a kid she's babysitting. I don't want to. Oh, she's a terrible actor.
Well, see, as you watch movies like this, you kind of get the impression that Jamie Lee Curtis got her role because she's actually a pretty good actress.
Yep.
The other two got their roles because they had other assets.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
PJ Souls does not mind getting naked.
No.
She's bringing the popcorn.
Bob's
with her.
joke about Lindsay. It's nitpicking,
Oh yeah, it's
but
it's
yeah.
gross. It's gross. Oh, sorry, Darth. I got all these different tabs. I see he's been making. Are you able to see the comment? Yeah, you can. Okay.
Yeah, there's just a lot of them. And they
Yeah,
keep-
there
they
is.
come-
There is, and I've got different tabs open, and
Yeah. Now, every time I see somebody carving a pumpkin, I think about the Peanut special. You didn't tell me you were gonna kill it.
oh, is that Charlie Brown
Yeah,
and the
exactly.
Great Pumpkin?
Right. Halloween 77 I've seen 1,000 times. Okay, well, that's awesome. This would make 1001.
That song. Oh, Paul, that stupid song
Yeah.
she came up with.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Yeah. Honestly, though, that's Nutter. I do stuff like that all the time, too. Usually with other songs, and I mess around
this
with
is
the
like
lyrics.
some dumb song she came. I guess it's just I've heard it so many times, and her character is annoying.
Yes.
It just gets more and more annoying. Even though I still love this movie.
Okay. I've been Googling, trying to figure out what I can do about this stupid AdSense account.
Yeah.
Apparently, your Gmail account must be active and not already linked to an AdSense account. Since I previously had an AdSense account, my Gmail email is already linked to an AdSense account. So what the flip do they want me to do?
Oh, it's so confusing. AdSense
I don't
is
know.
confusing.
Yeah, so I gotta find...
You got to go through Google then to try and find out what you have to do to get into that account.
Well, I can get into it, but I need to not have it associated with the AdSense that they want me to set up. Why did she want to get into the car?
She's going to go pick up Paul.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, and just that grunting that he does, it just kind of, ooh, it's so creepy. Sorry.
It's very, it's kind of realistic the way, you know, because in movies, usually a strangulation is like really fast and it's done, and it takes a while.
Takes a bit.
Not that I'm saying this from experience or anything. And usually there's a safe word. So Leslie Nielsen.
Was he in that? Really?
Yep, that was him.
Oh, wait. This is a totally different movie. This isn't the original thing. This is another movie they're watching.
No, it's not the thing. It's
right.
Oh, The Tempest. What was it? It was
okay. I didn't see that one.
Oh God, somebody's gonna say it. Forbidden Planet. Thank you, Jesse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a sci-fi version of The Tempest. Classic sci-fi. But yes, that was Leslie Nielsen when he was like a young leading man type before he started doing comedy.
Hard to imagine him like that.
It was actually hard for me to, make the connection as he switched and started doing parodies.
More comedic stuff?
Yeah. Ooh! Yeah, go ahead, turn off the TV. It's not going to matter. He's still out there.
Lose me. I believe you, Tommy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, she's going to believe him pretty soon.
It doesn't take long. Oh, you like that? You like him? Yeah, that was my daughter's boyfriend brought that with me from Puerto Rico when he moved up here to the States. I thought this part was funny when he scares the kids.
Yeah. And honestly, I'd probably do something like this too.
Get your ass away from there. That look on his face too.
Yeah. And then this.
Yeah.
I love that. That is so well framed and so well directed. It's just the timing is perfect.
Exactly.
But see, then he's talking like this, and you get that like Ahab kind of feeling here. It's like,
Yeah.
And again, depending on which of the twist the plot, versions you go down, is Michael Myers just normal guy who's a murderer and crazy? Is he supernatural? Is he something else? It was so much better when it was just the one movie and you never know.
Well, I just don't like the idea of him being supernatural takes away the fear factor for me.
Kinda.
Completely. Because if you can't kill him, well then ho-hum, this is just boring. They just kill him and then he just comes back. Oh, okay.
Well, and the other thing too is even the danger of it kind of loses it. You know what? I'm going to die. There's nothing I can do about it. No sense getting freaked out about it.
Yeah.
If you don't have the hope of survival.
Yeah, I don't think it helps.
See, what's funny is I see her and I think, oh, it's the girl from Stripes. I don't think of her from this movie.
Oh, I've seen Stripes once.
I'm not confusing her with the other girl, am I? She's the one that gets the spatula treatment.
The spatula treatment?
You only saw Stripes once, so.
Yeah.
So if you don't remember that,
I thought you were talking about something in here.
No, from Stripes. And do you know how many times, I've seen this movie and I've said, Annie, get your gun. That would have ended this movie a lot earlier. Oh, you're going to die.
Yeah. He's just standing there watching. Just watching.
And you have to wonder, because that's part of why the mask is so effective. You have no idea. There's no facial features. We don't know what he's thinking.
Yeah.
Right?
So expressionless.
But I always imagine he's like, really? Really? Okay.
I don't even know if he's even thinking. It feels like he doesn't have.
Yeah, he doesn't have
process
that.
other than
right.
Just, oh, you're here.
You're in my house.
I'm going to kill you. Let's think of creative ways I can kill you.
Although I do like to project that kind of thought process on these boogeymen type characters, like that commercial where with the kids. I don't remember what it's for even, but it's a parody of a horror film, and he's got the mask and I think he had a chainsaw or something, and the kids are running and they're like, well, we can get in the car and drive away. No, let's go hide behind all the chainsaws. And you see the guy, he takes his mask off. He's like, what is wrong with these people?
Oh my gosh, that's such a perfect commercial too, because it just epitomizes so completely the lunacy that goes on. I
think it was
in
a
so many
Geico
horror
commercial.
Movies. It was some sort of commercial. I don't remember. I just remember that it was very effective. It was very well done.
Have you seen the movie? Well, I got it right here, so I should be able to. Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon.
Yes, is that the one with Michael Rooker?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I have seen that. Yes, I thought it was good.
We're going to be watching it on Halloween on Netter's channel. It's
have
that
you not
same kind.
Seen it?
Oh no, we've seen. Well,
you have. Okay.
I'm pretty sure Netter's seen it. I'm 99% sure she's seen it.
Seen what?
The movie we're watching on your channel on the 31st. The one where the reporters are doing a documentary on the serial killer.
Once.
Yeah. It's got that kind of an element to it where there's a bit of humor in the. It's almost parody of these kinds of movies.
Been a bit since I've seen it, but I do remember. There was another movie, a more recent movie that was kind of similar to that in nature. I can't remember the name of it.
If you think of it, let me know, because I think I'd probably be really interested.
Oh, what the heck was it? Of course, it's going to escape me now.
Okay, so now he's just answered the phone and he's left the line open so they could hear him.
So they can just hear.
No,
Doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Yeah.
he waited till it stopped ringing.
Oh, okay.
Then took
Oh,
it
and
off
then
the
he picked
hook.
it up. Okay. Just the music. I mean,
Yep.
the score does
In
everything.
a Violent Nature, Travis said?
No.
Nope.
It's not that. It's not that recent. Oh God.
I'm not sure, Gorilla. I'm not sure that she's faking it. It might be cold, actually. So, yeah, you might be right.
No, it's not Creep. That's gonna bug me a lot.
That is such a cliche. Finish sex, have a cigarette.
Yeah, yes, it is.
What, you gonna be ready again for another 30 seconds of romping?
Well, he lasted longer than the guy at the beginning of the movie.
No, I don't think he did.
No, I think the other guy was a little longer because Michael had to traipse all the way around through the kitchen, get the knife.
No. I mean the guy from the beginning, the one that his sister was with.
Yeah, I
His-
thought
that was like done. Like
it was pretty quick.
I was joking. Well, I shouldn't repeat the joke. Never mind.
Why do people always go into rooms in the house with the lights off? I turn on the light for every room I go
And
into.
especially in a horror movie, I can't stand that trope. It's really
They don't
annoying.
know they're in a horror movie yet.
In some horror movies, though, they hear something scary, and instead of
Yeah.
turning all the freaking lights on, they walk up
Yeah.
a scary dark staircase.
Exactly.
That aggravates me.
The only justification for not turning on these lights would be if you had been asleep and woke up and you didn't want to accustom your eyes to the light.
Yeah, I mean, the only time I don't turn on the lights is when I get up in the middle of the night to go pee. Other than that, I go into a room, I turn the light on.
The reason I think that Michael Myers is scarier than the other, horror figures of the era is because who wants the last thing they see to be William Shatner's face?
What was the name of that movie that you were saying again? What was the name of it? The one we were just
Beyond the
talking.
Mask or Behind the Mask?
Behind the Mask, the Rise of Leslie Vernon.
Wait, now you said the one you said had Michael Rooker in it.
No, it's not Michael Rooker. It's
Okay.
another guy from The Walking Dead.
Okay. All right. So that's the one I was thinking of. But Michael Rooker was in a movie where he played like some type of
Oh, okay.
killer person. So I was getting them mixed up.
Now, am I correct that through his glasses, you not only see the holes of the holes in the sheet, but then you're also seeing the mask underneath it?
You're supposed to be,
Okay.
but it's kind of hard to tell
That's-
from here.
Yeah, it is. And I usually get distracted, so it's,
Yes, that one deleted.
Yep.
That's the one. I always get these two movies mixed up.
Oh, I've never seen that one. I'll have to check it out. Nope, there's not enough blood for both ends. Is that Nate that's doing that? Oh, it's Outlaw Bill. He's doing the. Yeah, that's a Stripes.
Oh, the wit.
reference.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Again, he didn't establish a safe word. Yeah, she's thinking, see? Engaging those thinky bits. Maybe she's in trouble. I'll kill you again.
Too late. He got to her first.
Yeah. And she still doesn't know, what's going on.
She knows something's off, yeah.
Yeah. Again, the responsible one, right? She's like,
Yep.
don't know if she's screwing around, but it could be something.
Never would have probably put that together.
Right.
They would have just been like, oh, well.
Okay, wait a minute. He strangled her with the phone cord, so the phone was off the hook. Oh, wait. No, he did pick up the phone. He may have hung it back up.
Yeah, he listened. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I was going to say, otherwise she should get a busy signal.
Right.
Something you young'uns wouldn't know anything about, because you don't get those on cell
Busy
phones.
signal,
Right.
Yeah. You go straight to voicemail. I'll tell you, what's bothering me the most about this movie is that gutter that's down. I want to get up there and fix the damn thing.
Okay, so the responsible girl still has both kids, right?
Yes.
Well, yes.
Okay. So they're both sleeping in the same bed. So that means the little boy could say, I slept with the girl when I was 9.
I guess so. There you go. Oh, that music again.
I love it.
Very well used, too.
Yep.
It almost sounds like the beginning of Tubular Bells.
There is a resonance with Tubular Bells, yeah. Pun intended.
Notice she has like her attire here gives her a whole different look.
Yeah.
Like she looks a little bit more, I don't know if fierce is the right word.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
She doesn't look quite so helpless.
Right.
In this type of wardrobe for whatever reason. I always thought she looked kind of badass.
Well, she's wearing high-waisted denim, so she looks like, she's dressed for work, right?
Yeah.
Like physical work. And she looks mature. So she, again, still does not look like, she's got anything on her mind but business. I'm here to take care of the kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Charlie's Angels. That's right. They kind of dress like that, too.
Yeah, and that's why I specified the high-waisted jeans. You could see her friends wearing, hip huggers, right?
I didn't think about that, but that's a good point.
No, I mean, everything about, the wardrobe says something about the character. One consistent positive across the first 6 films is Pleasance plays Loomis differently in each film, but makes it a clear trajectory. That's interesting. Wonder if that's the actor putting more thought into it than the subsequent directors.
This was a role initially offered to Christopher Lee, and I think he regretted turning it down.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Although, I wouldn't see him continuing with it. Well, no, I take that back. He played Dracula to death, so
several
why not?
movies, that's true.
Yeah. Well past the time he should have said, no, I'm done. Not that he couldn't pull it off, but the films weren't worthy of him. How's Annie? How's Annie?
Annie, are you okay?
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Her boyfriend's just hanging around. Now, see, that's also kind of juxtaposed with what you're used to in films like this. She's very clearly looking around corners. She's taking the initiative. She's not backing into rooms or something stupid like that, you know?
Except that one time where she backs up to like that open doorway and Michael's face materializes behind her.
Right, but you can you can understand it because she's focused on, you know,
what she's
other avenues.
Yeah.
You can't be that focused in one direction. Welcome, Sashi.
Hey, Sashi. I know. Finally, I've had so much trouble.
You've been having a problem with hiccups?
Well, you know, the last time I was supposed to be on here.
Those kind of hiccups. Okay. Yeah. Right.
I've had a lot of problems with my internet, so it's amazing it's still working today.
You might want to talk to Elon about that. Maybe get one of those satellite hookups.
I don't think it'll be fast as the speed I've got right now, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it'll connect, so it will be faster.
Even though I would like a faster upload speed.
Yeah.
I would love that. That's not fast enough for me for sure.
Yeah, even, you know, you have that ominous, then you got the ding, ding, ding. Mm-hmm. It's not really music. It's really just mood.
Yeah. Yes. That's it. Well, the only thing that's really like music is the theme song, probably.
Yeah. And I'm fine with that. We don't get enough of that. So this is like super on the nose, right? By bringing his sister's headstone, it's very clearly telegraphing, this represents my sister. That's why I killed her.
I always thought it was a little bit humorous the way he set up these sorts of things and like the different artistic ways that he would kill or pose people. Yeah. It's like, well, he had a lot of time to be doing all this stuff. Right?
And that does imply more than just murder. It's torture. Yeah. He's torturing her.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
That scene.
Yeah.
Like, that's always this feeling I have after I watch this movie. If I go outside and it's dark, that's the feeling I have. Like, he's right. And just the way I love how he played this role. It was really cool to be able to actually meet him and tell him how much
he scared the crap out of you.
Yeah, I told him, that he'd been my nightmare my whole life. It was good to get that off my chest, but I did end up having a nightmare not long after talking with him. So stupid. He's a really nice guy.
There is a chair. Use it to break the window.
You know, they said the same thing about Boris Karloff, too. That he was a super, super nice guy.
Yeah, Nick Castle.
Right.
I said, there's a chair. Use it to break the window.
She's not, that's the thing. She's not even thinking at all. So she uses her hand.
Well, the other thing is, those kinds of doors,
They're pretty.
With as hard as she was pushing on it, she would have gone right through it. They're not that strong.
The way they just turn out the light on her. Oh.
So what we were saying earlier about what we were saying before about her acting, it really, this is impressive acting.
She has a good
honestly,
scream. Yeah.
This is why it's so frustrating, because it is so realistic. There's no reason anyone would doubt her. Yes, even though it's Halloween and people play pranks.
Some people, they just don't want to get involved. They'll just look away.
No, that's just inhuman.
That's inhuman.
That's as bad or worse than Michael Myers.
So, see how slowly he walks? Like, he just takes his time. When my son cosplays as Michael Myers and we go to a con together, he walks at Michael Myers' speed when he's got the mask on. Even if we start to lose him in the crowd, he does not speed up. It's the most annoying thing.
That's how you're supposed to do it. That's what cosplay is.
I always have to look back.
Otherwise, babysitter's going to be dead.
I like the boogeyman. Yes, go, do.
Don't tell Mom all the babysitters are dead.
2 of the 3 babysitters are dead.
Yeah.
And that is how you have to deal. If you're taking a leadership position in a crisis situation like that, you say, don't think, just do.
Just do, yeah, exactly.
Ow.
She does all the tropey things here that really get on my nerves, but of course back in the day it wasn't so tropey.
It wasn't a trope back then, yeah.
Yeah, but now it's like, ugh, why do you throw the knife down?
Yeah, Netter and I go through that with almost every movie. Don't throw the knife down. Don't throw the gun away. You
so
keep
annoying.
everything. If you have a weapon, you hold on to it.
Yep. And if they're down, stab them a few more times. Make sure they stay down.
Exactly.
Until the Mars lights show up and someone in uniform actually takes the weapon from you, you hold on to it.
And don't try to walk close by them or step over them.
Right. Well, unless you're only going to them to stab them more.
Stab them some more. Yes, exactly.
Jump up and down on their head to make sure they don't start moving again. That was one of the Jason movies, right? I want to say Jason 3 or something, where the kid hacks up Jason into little bitsy pieces.
Oh,
you know,
and of course he comes back.
And it's like, yeah, it was kind of very contrived. I think they were setting up the kid to take his place, but it was very clear. It was like, I'm going to chop you up. So even if you're still alive, you can't do nothing.
This is why I haven't seen all the Jason movies, and that's part of the reason why, because he's so strongly established as that type of character. I just don't care.
But and see, this is where I argue it is a different thing. People always want to compare Jason and Michael Myers. They are two different things. Jason is a revenant. I mean, it wasn't established in the first movie, but subsequently he was a revenant.
Yeah, Corey Feldman.
Right.
Oh, this scene. Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
Oh.
I remember this scene. I saw this scene before I ever saw the movie because it was the scene they used in Siskel and Ebert when they were talking about the movie.
Oh. I think I think when I had turned around was when she stabbed him at the couch. And so if I remember correctly, I did see this. It was either here or when he set back up outside the closet door.
Oh. So
the scene is very horrifying to me.
So like I said, this scene really did, it was the first scene I saw. Seeing it, though, of course, in the safety of your own home with Siskel and Ebert, you know, contextualizing it and stuff.
Well, part of the thing is, she keeps going,
yes, she's not hiding from, well, but he knows she's there. It doesn't really matter.
No more hiding.
But this is
mineral
brilliant.
Water with lemon.
Because what does she do? She
uses the coat hanger.
The only value for a wire hanger. No wire hangers! And she nails him, right? This is what hooked me. No pun intended.
And then
I was like,
stabs him.
Yeah, and she grabs the knife. It's like, yes.
Stab him a few more times.
This is very survivalist, you know. This made me want to see the movie. I'm like, you know, I think she's going to win. I think she's going to, you know, and I guess she does, technically.
Now stab him a few more times, make sure he's dead.
Well,
no,
she can't even reach him right now.
Yeah.
Sure she can.
She walks past him and he just, you know, he lies there.
I'm going to disagree with you there, Nate. He says, actually, it was always established he was supernatural because at the end of the first movie, Jason came up out of the lake where he drowned. Remember watching it the first time when there wasn't a second movie. That wasn't Jason, it was a dream.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right? It was retroactively made that was something that actually happened. But even then, it doesn't make any sense. Why wasn't she dead? But again, she's keeping it together, keeping them active.
I would not be having my back. Oof, she has her back turned to him. And the way he always sits up straight like that.
Yeah.
Just like...
A lot of people use that as the justification for him being a supernatural entity, and I'm like, not necessarily. If he's a psychopath, you know...
Maybe for the way he sits up?
Yeah. Remember,
the way he stands up,
unemotional, control of his body, control of his pain. You don't have to be supernatural for those kinds of things.
That very brief shot of this actor that came into the Michael without the mask.
Right, and he shows up with the gun. That's why I said, you know, if Annie had gone and gotten her gun, this would have been done earlier in the movie. Okay, so I've thought about this a lot. And the number of shots he took, it's not 100% clear where he was shot.
Where he was, yes.
None of them were headshots.
No.
So
just like somewhere on his torso, maybe a shoulder, you know.
And knowing what I do know about bullet wounds, he absolutely could survive. Now, he would need medical attention.
Right. This is true. I could buy into him surviving this movie It's
Yeah.
when the second movie it starts to lose me. This is what happened with
Yeah.
Kills. Halloween
Yeah.
Kills did the same sort of stupid thing, and that just that made me so angry.
And honestly, even at this point, there's a lot we don't know about what Michael Myers is capable of. Is he capable of going into a hospital and getting help and then splitting before the cops show up?
If he went into a hospital for being shot, they have to report that to the police.
Well,
and
did
there's
they
usually
back
police.
then?
There's
the
usually
70s?
police right there in the hospital.
They almost certainly would still contact the police about it, but the idea is if you can get basic treatment and then split before Officer Friendly shows
Yeah.
up to start questioning you.
I used to work in a hospital. There were always cops down the ER. Always.
They were busy eating donuts. And this is also an ending that you wouldn't expect from a modern film. It's just, it's done. No exposition, no dialogue to walk you through what happened.
Loomis and then Nancy Loomis.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
You know, in this day and age, you would have had the whole talk about what happened to him. Well, he must, you know, he's the shape. He's supernatural. He survived, and he'll never be killed. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
we don't need all that backstory. It just
Right.
leave it alone.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not a very long movie. It does not overstay its welcome. There's not much fat at all on this film. The
Which
fat
is
that's
really
on
what
this
makes
version,
it good.
Yeah, the TV version has fat on it, but that's because they had to film enough to make it fill the 2-hour time
Right.
slot or however much. So I really wish they would digitally fix some things in here, though, or specifically one thing. That wrench in his hand, I can never unsee it now. You know, at the beginning, when he
yeah.
breaks the window, you can I
Yeah.
didn't know it till they mentioned it in one of the audio commentaries, and now that's all I can see. So they have the capability of fixing that. I don't know why they don't.
I mean, I guess the people that would have to sign off on it are probably going, it's fine.
Yeah,
We used a wrench
yeah.
to break it. That's just the way it goes, you know. Unless John Carpenter himself said, no, this is how it's going to be. We got to fix this.
I mean,
you
it was
know?
supposed to be his hand, but because you know, they had Nick use a wrench. We're watching Halloween.
Right, because in theory, he could have broken his hand doing that.
Right.
We're gonna talk about the movie you saw tonight.
No, that's tomorrow.
Okay, what'd you?
I have mixed thoughts. I'm not going to talk about it right now.
Well, I'm about to go to intermission to queue up the other one, so you got about 4 or 5 minutes if you... Hello!
That's okay. He just came in here. He always does this. He always interrupts me when I'm filming or live streaming.
That's perfectly fine. Well, I mean, it's perfectly fine on our end. It's up to you if it's fine on your end.
Oh, it's
or
just,
not.
it's like, Tura.
Okay, guys. About four and a half minutes, so I can run to the little boys' room, then we'll get started on the next one. Be right back.
All right.
Whoops. There we go. All right. We are back. Well, you and I are back. Netter will be joining us shortly.
Okay.
We have something that needs to be taken care of upstairs.
Okay.
So, everybody in the chat, I hope you guys have not left Cosme. If you have, you might want to get back in. And if you're just joining us, well, Cosme link is right up there at the top. I'm going to go ahead and get us started.
All right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
How long is this one? About the same or a little bit longer? I don't remember. It's been
An
a bit.
hour 37, it looks like.
Oh, so roughly the same.
Yeah. Well, and that's just it. I mean, these aren't complicated stories. They don't require a great deal of, exposition or any of that kind of stuff. Even this one, here we're going to get more of the intent and the backstory, but not a great deal of it. Just enough to get the flavor of what they're trying to get at.
This has definitely grown on me, this one.
Yeah.
People try to compare. So the last Halloween movie, Halloween Ends, got a terrible reception. Just like it.
Yeah.
A lot of people hated it. But people tried to compare.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to compare it to Halloween 3. Oh, people hated Halloween 3 when it first came out. Well, that was because they wanted Michael Myers. Okay?
Right.
That's why then. But Halloween 3 on its own is a good horror movie.
Yeah, it is.
In Halloween Ends, it was not primarily about Michael Myers. That's why people were pissed. But
Right.
Halloween Ends is not going to end up having that same... I don't think it's going to end up developing the same love among the fans that this one has.
Absolutely.
Developed over
Because you
time.
look at this and you go, I went into this with the wrong expectation. Now that I know what this movie is about, I can judge it for what it is and realize it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Whereas
exactly.
you're always going to look at, Halloween Ends and go,
Woo.
this is supposed to be
That's
the topping of a franchise, and it
Yes.
failed.
and they sold it as this big showdown between Michael and Laurie, and it ended up being about this other guy that has the
Yeah.
same darkness Michael has, and it was so stupid.
And I am really getting to and look, I mean, for all the talk that we do about franchises being ruined by wokeness and this and that, it's not just that. It's a failure to understand good storytelling.
Yeah.
If you can't understand why people love something to begin with, you are not the person to continue the story.
Yeah, agreed. I don't know when they're
You
going
know,
to get
it-
that message as a whole.
It's kind of like what I've always said about Star Trek 2. Nicholas Meyer was not a Star Trek fan. He knew nothing about Star Trek before he was given the opportunity. He went and he did his research and he goes, oh, I get who these characters are. And then he made a movie, related to that. And he pulled it off brilliantly. He was able to stand back, look at it, understand the storytelling, and execute it. We don't have that level of talent, it seems, in the entertainment industry.
With a lot of beloved franchises. It almost feels like they are just intentionally trying to screw it up, and it's annoying.
Well, and the other problem is the people that should be shepherding it, the ones who own them, that value them, don't realize what they have. They think, oh, you just make anything and slap that name on it, we're going to make money. No,
That's
you're
what they
not. You're
think.
killing the golden
It works
goose.
that way. You just piss off fans, and then instead of accepting it, most of the time they just attack fans.
Yeah, exactly. And that, doesn't help because it just pushes them away even more.
Hey, Putin's
Well,
cat.
in fairness, the ones that are blaming the fans aren't the stakeholders. It's the artists who are so far up their own butts. That's all they care about. It's not the studios that are doing that. They're sitting there scratching their heads going, oh, we don't understand what's going on.
I like this soundtrack too.
Yeah, it's very different, but remember this soundtrack has to convey a different I don't want to say attitude,
Tone.
but a different. This is a very different story that it's trying to tell.
Yeah.
So it's setting up a different mood, I guess I should say.
Yeah, different mood. Yeah, different feeling.
So we opened up with the opening credits showing the symbols of Halloween, the jack-o'-lantern and so forth, but on a digitized screen.
Yeah.
Right? And that is establishing the theme. It's these traditional, these traditions, but being represented in the modern day, using modern day affectations.
Yeah, I knew when I started watching Halloween Ends, when the opening credits were very similar to this, I knew that was not a good sign.
Right.
It's like, oh.
I saw that in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. They're parroting things from previous films without understanding how or why they're there. There's a great line in Star Trek 4 where they figure out that the alien probe is trying to communicate with whales in the ocean.
Oh,
and,
yeah, I remember.
And they're like, but whales are extinct, so they can't respond back. Well, can't we use recordings? Well, sure, we could, but then we'd be talking in gibberish. We don't understand the language. That's exactly what a lot of these filmmakers are doing. They don't understand the language, but they're using all the words.
Yeah, they think if they just slap the words together, it'll make a nice sense.
Yeah.
That doesn't work that way.
And here I am as somebody who is fluent in that language, and you're yelling at me. Talk about cultural appropriation, by the way. You come along, Hollywood, and you appropriate my culture, my geek culture, and then you have the nerve to say I'm the istophobe. And again, this is not a throwaway scene. Showing, Stonehenge and talking about it. Most people probably know this, but it's like, this is important. Notice this.
Right, yeah.
Silver Shamrock. Travis says, great point about Star Trek. I'm not a fan of Trek at all, but seeing Search for Spock on its own, it's a great film. The broad story of wanting to bring back someone who is gone grabs you, fan or not. Absolutely. And gosh, Star Trek 2, the sacrifice of Spock for his friends, I mean, I don't care who you are, not to mention, Amazing Grace on the bagpipes. I ugly cry at the end of that movie every time. And it has nothing to do with being a Star Trek fan. 9 more days till Halloween. Yes, thank you, Bill. Thank you for pointing that out.
I saw this on the big screen for the first time about, I don't know, a couple years ago. And that was fun. Because that was the first time I'd seen it since the very first time I'd seen it, which was decades ago. And it was upon watching it that time on the big screen when it returned that gave me a deeper appreciation for it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, this is actually a really solid story. That reminds me of Michael Myers, that scene.
Oh, yeah.
The first Halloween. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Do you know, so we're talking about Halloween lore and the old ways and all that kind of stuff. Do you know where the jack-o'-lantern came from? What it was before it was a pumpkin?
I might have heard, but I don't remember.
It was Oh damn! Now I'm forgetting the name of that stupid vegetable. It was smaller. They were. Someone in the chat's gonna get
A
it.
gourd?
No, it wasn't a gourd. That's what it was. Turnip.
Turnip.
Thank you,
Okay.
Travis. It was a turnip,
Okay. That's interesting.
which is a turnip. I believe is a root vegetable. So it's a lot harder to carve one of those up.
Something I also liked about this movie was the detective-y sort of aspect to it.
Yes.
Investigation stuff going on.
And there is, and I personally think that the reason that this whole Silver Shamrock thing is still so endearing is I think a lot of us that grew up enjoying Halloween kind of miss. Halloween's become, forgive the unintended pun, has become very hollow. It's fun for dress up, but there's no real scariness anymore. There's no participation happening anymore. You know, going to parties, apple bobbing, you know, pin the tail on the donkey, stuff like that.
Yeah.
None of that, you know? So this idea of a song that all the kids are singing, looking forward to something that's being promised on the TV. Now, admittedly, it's, you know, something ominous in this movie, but
He's like, I'm out of here.
yeah.
Nope.
No. No.
See, and that's another thing you used to have in horror movies like this. You'd have the character that was like, just nopes out. Just
I'm out of here.
he survives the movie because he saw
Yep.
that there was a problem and left way early.
Oh, this is another thing that, well, especially in Halloween 2, you notice it a lot. It takes place primarily in the hospital.
In the hospital,
and the
yeah.
dark hallways in Halloween 2, as the movie goes on, the hallways get darker and darker, and that
Yeah.
aggravates me. It's like, no way, the hallways are very brightly lit.
Yes, always. Absolutely always. Samuel Proctor says there's a lot less kids coming to our house on Halloween since the lockdown. Let me tell you, we've been here for over 15 years. We've never had a single trick-or-treater.
Oh, wow.
Our first year, we had 2 kids.
Oh, okay.
We had a toddler and an infant. Second year, we had... No, I'm sorry. The first year, we had a toddler.
Mm-hmm.
The second year, we had a toddler and infant, and then nobody else after that.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I mean, I get it, but I think everybody misses the point of trick-or-treating. Because I remember even as a kid, there was always that scare, you know, based on the urban legends about, you know, candy being tampered with and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like, but it's not really about the candy. Because most of the stuff you got was crap anyway that you didn't even really want, you know. And my mother would say, you know what, I'll get you what, you know, and she would buy bags of candy that we liked, and whatever was left over, that was my Halloween candy. We'd throw out all the crap. So we were never really concerned about that, but that's not why we were doing it. We were doing it because it was fun to dress up in your costume, go door to door, be seen in your costume. Which I guess is why, you know, so many of us do cosplay and go to conventions these days.
Yeah.
That's also why we say Halloween is for amateurs. That's just rude.
Just rude.
Ugh.
That's one way to put it.
Ugh. I mean, that's an interesting way to kill somebody.
Right?
I mean, he effectively just gave him a frontal lobotomy.
I feel like I actually should post the Cosme link on my Rumble stream.
Oh, yeah.
I never did that.
I don't think I've seen anyone commenting from Rumble.
They hardly ever do.
Yeah.
And the times that they do is like when I'm not looking.
Yeah. No Rumble rants. Okay, Travis says this is a kind of prototype for carpenters. They live. Middle-aged, flannel-wearing guy finds a piece of hardware that uncovers a conspiracy to kill people, teaming with a girl who ends up being evil. That's right! That's actually right, yes! I never made that connection before. You think John Carpenter had trust issues?
Oops. Sorry, hold on.
Did he write this one, though? Did he write this?
Don't know. Let me see.
Because he didn't direct it.
Let's see. So it was written by, well, he's listed as one of the three: Tommy Lee Wallace, John Carpenter, and Nigel Neal.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you know all three of the writers, it's really hard to guess, which elements of it came from who, So what's really creepy is you see the assassin come in, kill the guy, and then self-immolate, And that is kind of horrifying to begin with. But as you start to understand what's going on, it's even more horrifying. I mean, it takes a certain level of fanaticism to self-immolate. By the way, you can get the Silver Shamrock masks at trickortreat.com, I believe it is.
Oh, that didn't surprise me. They were featured prominently in Halloween Kills.
Were they really? That's interesting.
Yeah, they were. And some people were speculating that they were going to have some sort of power, but they were just Easter eggs.
Yeah. Again, throwing stuff in without even understanding the reason that they exist. Yeah, so even though we saw, the so-called murder, it's best not to show them again because it's not very realistic looking. The less you see, the better.
Agreed.
Nate says, when my boys were small on Halloween, they realized they could steal, fit into the last year's costume, so they trick-or-treat twice. Oh, okay, I see what you do. You know what? The kids in our neighborhood weren't even, they would just come around again. And nobody cared, because it was like, I'm going to end up with extra candy at the end of the night. Go ahead, take it. If they came around too many times early in the night, like, you come back later, huh? And in our neighborhood, it was only certain houses that would get hit that way over and over, the ones that had good candy. and this is a great point, going back to what you were talking about, the whole investigation, because this dialogue forces you to think about, yeah, this isn't just throwaway stuff that we're doing here. There's a reason behind all of this. And I think everybody knows, again, this is, for most people, this isn't the first time you're seeing this. You know that there's people that are fanatics. That you don't set yourself on fire if you're not a fanatic, right?
Well, I don't. Okay, so it's been a bit, but were they not just androids that were doing this?
Oh, is that right? That
I
may
guess
be the
I
case.
assumed that they.
I
were,
had forgotten that there's technology being used here as
Yeah.
well. That's right. But the guy that burned himself up in the car couldn't have been an android. I mean, even when he burns, they'd know, hey, there's a whole lot less organs and sinew and a whole lot more copper wiring.
True. That would have been evident. Yeah.
And here's another thing: the fact that Halloween is a film within Halloween 3.
Yep. And they show other scenes of it, don't they? Don't they show like scenes of Michael at some point on the TV?
I don't remember. They did show him in that promo there. But there's my point. It's like, it's very clear that Halloween and Halloween 3 do not take place in the same, universe.
Right. Oh, I'm reading Travis's comment.
According to FX,
I hadn't heard about that.
ends. The script initially ended in a Silver Shamrock factory. The cat mask Allison wears and the scarecrow mask Corey wears, all being from said factory. Again, that just doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, that would have
That
annoyed
scene
me.
that we just saw here makes that not work. Okay, I can see, yeah. Travis says the only way to force Halloween 1 and 3 into the same universe is if Halloween is for Halloween to have been a movie made based on real events.
Yeah, that's true.
But see, that kind of rationale really only works for something like Nightmare on Elm Street or Chucky, because there's a certain amount of tongue in cheek involved there, right? You know, there is in Friday the 13th the whole thing where, you know, the actors play themselves in the story, talking about the events and so on and so forth. And I could see them totally doing the same kind of thing in a Chucky movie, because Chucky doesn't really take anything seriously.
What state is this supposed to be in again? I forgot. Did they even mention?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think if there was any clues that we got.
Because it looks Midwestern. But I don't know. I might be wrong.
Apparently it's set in Northern California.
Okay.
Specifically Laredo and Santa Mira.
You're right. Just showed
Specifically,
Santa Mira.
There was the Laredo Grocery, Humboldt Cemetery, familiar. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that set it in Santa Mira, California.
There's just something about horror movies from the 80s. They're probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Decade of, like, I would rather watch a shitty horror movie from the 80s than a lot of horror movies today.
Agreed.
It's weird, like almost the cozy feel they have, which is really weird because it's horror. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's just the filming style, if it's the film grain, if it's the colors.
I think all of those things kind of lend themselves to it, but I think there's also and I hate to sound like a one-note record, but it's true, the storytelling element, people understanding how to tell the story. You know, you have to understand the build-up, the pacing, the framing. Sometimes the very subliminal elements that you're putting into it.
And they often weren't terribly long movies either.
Right. They don't have to be. Right? They say brevity is the better part of wit. Well, it kind of applies here, too. Like I said with the last one, it ends. You don't need any more.
Over,
you don't need a follow-up. You don't need an epilogue. It's just done.
Smile 2 ended up being that. Actually, Smile and Smile 2 ended like that as well. Very abruptly. It's definitely more rare that happens. Oh, I haven't heard of that one. Travis, I will have to add that to my letterbox. I don't think I've heard of it anyway.
Intruder. I mean, that sounds like a great setting for a movie. Sure.
I definitely have not seen this. Oh, Sam Raimi's in it?
Well, then you know it's good.
Well, he's just acting, so I don't know. Let's see who directed it. Scott Spiegel. Oh, it's got a 3. Oh, it's actually already in my watch list.
And the Winnebago.
My grandma and grandpa used to have one of those. The audio, too. I like the audio.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that sucks. Don't look at the posters before you watch Intruder. It spoils the movie. I hate that. I hate
okay.
that.
Okay. Oh, Sam Raimi did? Was he like one of the writers? Let me see. Well, oh, sorry, deleted. Yeah, he did. He's one of the actors, if that's what you mean. Doesn't look like he's not credited in the letterboxd information. Oh, it's on Tubi.
Almost all the stuff that's worth seeing is on Tubi.
I like
Everything
Tubi.
Everything that's on the pay streaming services is a lot of this schlock that they're pushing that nobody wants to watch.
I gravitate a lot towards, like, the app I probably watch the most is Pluto TV. Completely free.
Yeah.
But I like the lineup of different channels they have, broken down thematically.
Yeah. Wow. They move fast.
Yeah, it did. Well, deleted, check letterboxd or just watch to see like where the different places where movies are often available.
Oh, yeah, they just said Santa Mira.
It showed a sign earlier too. As you were looking it up, they actually showed a sign.
Oh, yeah, I was looking away from the screen. Okay.
Right as you said it. It was showing
Gotcha.
it.
Tubi had Freddy's Nightmare for a while, and they took it off while I was watching through it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Well, this is why you own physical media. Then they can't take it away from you. When it's free and convenient, you kind of can't complain when it's not suddenly there. Freddy's Nightmare doesn't have a physical release? Well, see, then that's when you have to make your own. Oh, Freddy's Nightmare, the series. Yeah, then you definitely have to make your own.
Oh,
I had done that with
that.
Friday the 13th, the series, until it was released on DVD, and then I got the DVDs. You know, that whole surveillance state thing, people used to realize that was not a good thing. Now people aren't paying attention.
Yep. By degrees, we get used to these different intrusions.
Like a frog in water that's slowly boiling.
With so many things.
So, I was just talking about Jason Goes to Hell last night. If I've seen it, I do not remember it, although I do have the DVD.
I don't think I haven't seen most of the. Oh, wait, hold on. Freddy goes to jail? Oh, Freddy
Jason
goes to.
Goes to Hell.
Woof. I only got like, how much sleep did I get last night? Because I had to get up super early
Yeah, it
today.
was late last
What
night,
was
right?
it? 5 hours and 17 minutes of sleep. Fortunately, they did actually show up before they called and see. Yeah, 7:50 they came. So it was worth getting up when I did, but
Gotcha.
it's tough. The older I get, the more I value my sleep. Yeah, Travis. So how are you? I don't use Cosme.
Uh-huh.
I know of it. Oh, that's nasty. Um,
Yeah, it is.
how do you present your movie? Do you like what? Upload the file here, or what do you do?
So
How do
what
you
I
do it?
do, what I do is I take the DVD and
You rip
I
it?
burn an MP4 of it. Okay,
Okay, so you rip it. Okay.
and then I take the MP4 to a different computer. So I have a computer beside me dedicated specifically to Cosme, sending it out. Then I'm
Oh,
pulling it back in, just like all of you guys watching it, on my big screen.
oh, okay.
So usually I can hear if there's something going wrong. I can see if something goes wrong, from your side. If it's not, messed up on my computer, but it's messed up on my TV, I know that there's something happening out there,
Yeah, yeah. So is it just a computer you use to store your digital media?
Not even. It's just an old PC. It's the one that
You
I
just kind of use
started
it.
out on YouTube with, and then I upgraded to a new computer, and I just moved the old one over, and now I only use it for Cosme. Really,
Okay, okay.
I actually have some games saved on there just in case I want to access them, but I don't really use it for that. Okay, so that makes more sense, Troy. The guy who was playing HBO's Rome, I was trying to help with.
Oh, he was trying to
Cosme
play it.
gave up at
Yeah.
the end. He was just trying to play it from HBO or something. Yeah, I found that it's almost entirely impossible to have one computer playing the movie and host a stream because you get double
much.
sound.
Oh, yeah, see.
And there's no way to split it.
Yeah,
that's why I started doing it the way I am.
That's a good idea, because I used to do, when I have done watch parties, I've done it on one computer. It's worked okay. I do it through StreamYard. I never thought to do it through Cosme, but I have a computer like right here behind me. You can't see it, but that's my computer that I use primarily to store backup files in, but also my Plex library.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
yeah,
could
yeah.
put all my digital stuff on there too, for if I ever wanted to do something like this.
What format? Oh, Plex is resident on your hard drive, right?
Yes, but it's also, like if I share my Plex library with friends, they can log into Plex, create an account, and watch it online.
Gotcha. Okay. So are those what format are those stored in then?
It plays pretty much any media.
The only reason I ask that is because, and I don't know if this is unique to Cosme or not, every time I try to do something that's not MP4, it won't work for me.
Yeah. Well, I do prefer MP4.
Yeah.
But some of the older files that I have are like AVI or...
Oh, I don't know.
Some of them
I
are
haven't tried
MKV.
AVI. The problem I was having was with MKV files. They're very convenient because they oftentimes have the subtitles attached, but Cosme won't play them. It won't share.
So that's a good thing to remember. Oh yeah.
Okay,
something
this is the best movie. This is the best Halloween film, period. You know, I had meant to look him up. Tom Atkins.
He played in The Fog, I thought. You talking about this guy here?
Yeah. But I feel like he was in something else. Well, I mean, he's been in a lot of things, obviously. Was he in a werewolf movie?
Was he in The Howling?
I'm looking. Oh, well, I just saw him recently in the 9th configuration. I'm going to be doing a watch party of that next week, so that's kind of funny. I didn't make that connection before.
Oh, okay. Sorry. No, The Howling had Dee Wallace's husband in it. He was also.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of, though.
I often confuse this guy with Dee Wallace's husband or former husband.
I think you're right. That's probably what I'm thinking.
He actually died. They weren't divorced. He died.
I'm not sure that that's better.
I know. I thought he was still alive. Actually, that's why I mentioned that. I didn't realize that he passed away. So, did you look up what else he's played in?
Yeah, like I said, I most recently saw him in the 9th configuration.
Oh, that's right. You said.
But he's done a lot of TV stuff. And dead.
Yep.
Yeah, who cares? I'm busy. Yeah, most of the things I would have seen him in are actually, interestingly, TV shows.
Oh, that is nastical. Let's see, what is... Oh, he played in Maniac Cop.
Okay, anyone know what kind of creature that was? Because that was like a real creature. That's not like animatronic or nothing like that.
What, that insect?
Yeah.
Oh, he played in My Bloody Valentine, the remake. Okay.
It's a vehicle. Pulling into a parking lot. Why should this be a surprise to you?
Right, it is a hotel.
Yeah. Oh, I see. It's still nighttime. The way the light's coming in, it looks like it's daylight.
You thought it was daytime? Oh.
Yeah.
But even still, it's a hotel. There's going to be traffic. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in Escape from New York.
Well, I'm sure he worked with John Carpenter a lot.
Yeah, well, The Fog and Escape from New York, they might be the only ones. This is Tom, oh my gosh. It's late, y'all. This is John Carpenter adjacent. This movie.
It's a camel spider. Okay, thanks. Yeah, no, I knew it was real. I just didn't recognize it.
Didn't know what it was. Not creepy at all.
I mean, that pretty much does kind of sum it up, doesn't it? So at this point, the audience pretty much knows, okay, there's a doodah inside the masks. These guys all know about it. It causes you to be uggified and have a bug crawl out of your head. Not
what
really
I don't
sure
get
how
was,
that works.
what was the point of her? Was she just sent to kind of keep an eye on him?
I
Or
don't
did
remember.
okay, wait. She wasn't always an android. That's right. They turned her into one.
Right.
I always thought she was an android from the beginning, but no, they turned her. But it happened really fast. I remember at the end. That was kind of a little bit of an eye roll I remember having when I rewatched it on the big screen.
See, I wouldn't have realized that was a spider, Bill. I just...
It looked like a spider.
Looks like a giant ant to me, almost. But now that I see it's a 2-segmented body and not 3. It's just such a slender, abdominal section. In fact, it actually looks a lot like a termite.
I thought termites
But again,
had
a termite
wings.
have. I don't know if they do their whole life. I think they might be like ants, but they also have a 3-segmented body and not 2. So yeah, 2 pretty much implies that it's a spider or some sort of arachnid. Yeah, I'm starting to see a little bit of scorpion without a tail kind of look to it. So yeah, definitely arachnid. And if you say if the scientists call it a spider, I would not argue with them. But actually, the answer then would be, Samuel, no. Probably not at this point. So what you're saying, Bill, is when a camel and a spider really, really love each other. Hey, don't laugh. Over at the Y-Files, there's a camel and a goldfish that have something going on.
What?
It's a
What?
It's a storyline in the framing thing of the Y-Files. Hecklefish has a girlfriend who's a camel. She was going to be the 6th replicant in Blade Runner, but they cut out all of her scenes before filming. The 6th replicant. See, if you told me that she was a replicant of the same model as Sean Young's character, I could believe that. In fact, they probably should have cast her as the character that Daryl Hannah played, if they wanted to be closer to the book. But no, they wouldn't do that. And she's like, the heck? This RoboCop prequel is weird. Well, actually, from a certain perspective of headcanon, I can kind of see that. Latex masks, sure.
That looks like fun.
Yep. I've never done full head masks like that, but I've done appliances that way. All done by hand. Nowadays, it would all be machine.
Mm.
Now that's interesting. They show a calliope, which is basically an instrument that plays by itself, right? All this automation.
Yep.
And very old automation.
But little hints, foreshadowing.
Yep. Dead dwarf? I don't know that one. Okay, well that was problematic for somebody, I'm sure. Yikes. You see, when you... This film has rewatchability because that is really, really freaky.
Yeah, the little thing on the back.
Yes.
Mm.
When you know the story behind this, it's like, ah! Ah!
Okay, what happened to the ladies?
Maybe they went off somewhere else in that area.
Well, there they are. And all the trucks ready to take shipments out.
Mm-hmm.
If someone is so concerned about trade secrets for latex masks, should really
Should
question
make you
what's
wonder.
going on.
Red flag.
Yeah, that's... This was too long ago to have been Dancing with the Stars.
Hmm.
Which Halloween movie are you guys and girls watching now? I think we're
Three.
more than halfway through Halloween 3. Yeah, so he knows something's up. We got to get out of here. And I love that countdown to Halloween, right? You know, now
Yeah.
it's one more day till
Yeah.
Halloween. You know something's
Right.
coming. Something's coming.
I mean, in the beginning, it doesn't necessarily. It's not as foreboding, but the more the
Yep.
movie goes on,
Okay, so this is clearly where they got her.
okay. I could here, not in the factory, but here, because he finds her
Right.
in the factory later. He rescues her.
Spoilers.
Oh,
Hey,
Well-
Curtis, welcome back.
I thought we'd been talking spoilers the whole time.
Oh, I'm sure there's somebody out here who hasn't seen this yet.
Sorry.
This is such an old film, and so many people have seen it already. It's kind of a foregone conclusion that people kind of
Hey,
already
Curtis.
know the basic premise of the film. Well, I'm sorry, Samuel. Yeah. There's always someone among us.
My apologies. Oh, because, okay. It showed them walking her down the hall.
Yep. Yeah, you're doing a great job hiding there, pal.
Just like,
Well, the bumper's blacked out.
yeah.
Which
But anyway.
they never are unless the script calls for it, right?
Okay, good, Samuel. It just looked funny the way he did that. You'd think they would have seen him though, because it was coming up behind him, but that was funny.
So you first saw Halloween 3
Okay.
is what you're saying, Curtis. That's okay. I don't think I've ever heard someone say that Halloween 3 was the first movie they saw. I think that would give you a very skewed impression of the Halloween franchise then. But like I said, watch 1, watch 3, and you're done. I wonder how this role would have worked with Shatner. Actually, I could kind of see Shatner in this role. I could see him playing this character, yes.
When Shatner came to our local con, Arturo was cosplaying as Michael Myers, and
Uh-huh.
we weren't able to make this happen, but I was wanting to get up there to sit on the front row. So he could just sit there as Michael Myers and stare at
That's
him.
funny, yeah.
But he sat there when we went and talked to Nick Castle. He was in the Michael Myers mask, and he just stood there.
That's brilliant,
He
yeah.
never talks. He just when I was talking to Linda Hamilton, he was standing there as Michael Myers.
Jeez.
There's a
He's got
camera,
videos
dude.
up on his channel of it's a video series that he makes called Michael Myers Stalking People at Conventions, and it's just clips of him just standing in a crowd staring at people.
When he
Sorry,
came
what
up
were you gonna say?
and saw the camera, he was poking around a piano. It was a player piano. Literally, all of these devices are automatic
Yeah.
devices.
These little things you notice. That's not something that I
Well, you don't
thought
catch it the
about
first time
yeah,
through.
Yeah.
It's not until I've seen this a dozen times, I think.
I don't know Gorillas. I think we're heading close to the final act, probably.
Yeah.
She's a robot.
Yep.
Mm.
I would definitely an automaton. Whether she qualifies as a robot, I'm not sure. More like a clockwork.
It's another one of those.
Mm.
You're gonna need something a lot stronger.
So that implies to me that the feeling of his face must be realistic enough for him to not quite yet realize that it's not a real person.
Like they're highly advanced. They're like Terminators. Oh,
You?
they're pretty vulnerable then.
Prick me? Do I not leak?
Hmm.
This sequel to Westworld is weird. He's full of baby food. $17.85. That actually is not beyond belief. They've had Automata going back a long way.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There are even ones that were made in ancient Greece that used the equivalent of like water clocks.
Yeah.
Water would fill and move gears and stuff. Who was it that dropped that meme? Was that Nate? No, Samuel Proctor. Yep, Samuel Proctor dropped a meme that implies that this this alien prequel is weird.
This version of Cosme that you use, is it a paid subscription or do they have?
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's free.
nice. This is probably the smoothest watch party stream I've seen.
It's because I've got good internet. I mean, really good internet. I've got good upload and...
What's your upload?
Don't know. Let me see what it is right now.
You have fiber?
I don't know.
Or simultaneous, or what? Synchronous internet? Something.
So I have... Well, wait a minute. Let it finish. It'll tell me what its final reading is.
Okay.
Okay, I have 700
Download?
megabits per second download, 22 megabits per second upload.
Only 22 upload.
Apparently.
Okay, so you don't have fiber. So
But
I
then
have
again... Go ahead.
Yeah, we don't have fiber.
No.
Okay, I have 600 download, but I often clock higher than that. 600 download and 35 upload. I want faster upload because it's important for things like this, like live streaming depends a lot on your upload speed. but also for the work that I do, the files that I upload, the audiobook
Right,
files,
right.
They're very big.
So that's a
Fast
great
upload.
point, because I have Cosme going out on one computer and Netter and I both going out on each of
It's
our own
holding up good.
computers.
It's doing well.
Now, admittedly, Netter's not on camera right now, but we've both been on camera and not had a problem before.
Yeah. So he's trying to say he invented Stonehenge?
Not him personally. It's a kind of magic. And see, that's the key point. It's not all technology. It's using technology to focus their magic or whatever it is. Well, yes, Samuel, it would be these guys, but also the Terminator hand and chip that came back in time as well. That also led to the androids that are used in Alien.
The whole loop.
See, when I say that, Agent Boomer gets all upset. Nope. Alien and Terminator are not in the same universe. Okay, fine. I say, well, not all of the timelines of Terminator, but some of them. Yeah, this is creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Test room A. It's like a bomb shelter. Like Fallout.
Yep. I still haven't seen that.
Oh, I think you would like it.
Yeah, I've
If
been
you're willing
hearing
to
good things
invest
about it.
in a season of a series, it's worth checking out.
I still want to see the Joker, not the Joker, the Penguin too. There's so many things.
I have zero interest in the Penguin.
Oh, I've heard really good things about it. That's what made me
too, but
intrigued. Colin Farrell's such a good actor. You just not into DC stuff?
I am. I have not been into it since Man of Steel. They have not done anything, almost nothing right.
Yeah.
I did like the Captain Marvel movie they did. I haven't watched the second one yet.
Captain Marvel, the first one? With Brie Larson?
No. They call it Shazam. I only
Shazam.
call it
Okay,
Captain
okay.
Marvel.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I was talking DC, yeah.
I was wondering why you did that jump. I was like, you jumped from DC to Marvel.
No, I meant, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, even the mask on the outside's getting icky.
Yeah, it's just, I can see why it bothered you deleted.
It's like a pumpkin that's rotting, you know?
Yeah. Ew, bugs.
Yep. They look like crickets.
The way they speed up that music.
Oh, those are crickets.
Those are worms and snakes.
Yeah, that's all kinds of grippy grimies. That's definitely a snake, yeah.
Oh, that makes me itch.
Yeah, I know, right?
It makes everything itch when I see things like that.
Why did he give him the pad and paper? Or pen and paper?
I don't know. Well, that's a rattler, so that's like poison, kill you dead.
Yeah, but the mom just fainted.
She's probably getting consumed too.
You killed those people.
Yup.
So what's this guy's endgame? He just wants to kill everybody?
Sort of. They'll explain it in a bit. I don't want to get too far ahead of it. But again, remember how this kind of magic works, right?
Yeah, where I'm from, Samuel, but copperheads are an issue.
We had a problem with cottonmouths in Ohio, where my uncle had a marina. See, the thing, though, is, you know, snakes that are indigenous to your area, people really know, okay, I got to have some antivenom. The hospitals are all ready. You know, you're usually going to be okay. It's really when you're out, you know, in the woods, cut off from you know, anybody for a long period of time. Yeah, you could end up in real trouble if you don't know what you're doing.
My husband got bit a couple times by a snake that was in our basement one time. But, and I was in Dragon Con at the time, so I was away from home. And fortunately, it was a black snake, so it was fine. But it was scary.
I've been bitten by non-poisonous snakes. It hurts. It still hurts.
Because I know, but he didn't know. You know, that's what I was asking him. Was it black? Did you see patterns on it? Was it a copperhead? I think we determined pretty quickly it was a black snake, and he was fine. But yeah, it was frightening.
Yeah, that's back in the day where you had to call information and
To get
then
a
you
phone
had a
number,
phone number,
yeah.
and then you had to call that number.
You had to physically use
Yeah,
some
it
arm
was.
muscles for that.
It was actually a surprise when eventually they say, "Would you like me to connect you?" That came later, and I was like, "What? You can do that?"
No.
And there's one of those rotary phones again, kids.
Yep.
My
Did
mom
I
used
wake
to have
you? No. Well, I'll call you back later.
Yeah, okay. My mom used to have a candlestick, like a candlestick replica phone that was rotary.
Oh,
it was cool,
okay.
but it was a pain to hold.
Yeah.
We used to talk on it.
He's got a driller.
Yeah.
And not in a
Not
fun
in the
way.
good way. Yeah, exactly. And again, the imagery of the gears. But this is now she's looking at you know, what's left of somebody, right? So she's gonna figure things out.
Okay, how'd they know that she had these bits?
They knew that a body had been brought in.
Yeah.
Nope, too late. Can't let you tell anybody, you gotta die. You need another lover like you need a hole in your head. Well, that'll do it, yes. Rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy.
And what's a drill doing in a lab?
Well, you know, in case
Autopsy
you're
place?
doing autopsies. You might have to drill through a skull or a breastbone. Or you might have to, you know, open up a can of soup.
Sure.
Yeah. See? There's your explanation.
There's Halloween.
Yep. That was, yeah, because that was Lori going to the door. And it's not just an Easter egg either. It's convenient because it's their movie. They don't have to pay any royalties to anybody.
Yep.
You've got 9 minutes to figure out how to get that thing off your head.
Well, considering it's split
10
down the
minutes.
back, it shouldn't have the special Halloweeny thing in it to make it go blip.
Oh, I'm sure it does. I love how you can hear the clockwork.
Yeah.
The fog spin-off is not what I expected. But I can kind of see it. I mean, yeah, that's probably the first step. Kill the TV. Yeah, I would. Okay, yeah. I guess it's pretty
Forgot how
methodical.
he got out.
Yeah.
To get the thing off my head.
Okay.
No, that was.
I'm calling BS on that one.
Yep, definitely. For
We
sure.
were doing good up to that point. Okay, Curtis, is that actually a Michael Myers mask from one of the movies? Because that looks like a
The one
Party
he
City
threw up?
reject.
I thought it was a skeleton mask. I don't think it was.
No, I think it was one of the bad masks from one of the later movies. It's like a Temu Michael Myers mask.
You got 8 minutes, dude.
Well, if I remember correctly, the whole thing is he'd like to save everyone, but if he can't save everyone, he just wants to save his own kids. It's not a malfunction.
It's a mask function.
It's broken. Yeah, that's the other thing. I realize that these automata are they don't think for themselves really. They're very limited in their decision-making capabilities.
He pokes his head up, there's a camera right there.
Welcome, Mark. You're here just in time for the very, 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 very end of Halloween 3. Well, let's be honest, Curtis. He's started bringing in a lot of his own security now.
Oh, and I remember being so annoyed with her. Like, all she did the whole movie is bitch at him.
Yep. Yeah. It's like...
So his ex-wife is a...
Because she doesn't trust him. She doesn't like him. She thinks it's all, all about her and her relationship with her ex.
Oh, you're just jealous. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I'm just a horrible person because if I got out of here and my kids were dead because she didn't listen, I would go to her and I would say, you killed them because you didn't listen. Thank you.
Didn't that clock previously say 9? And now it's just 8:26?
Yeah, I
That was a very
I wasn't
long,
doing maths. I wasn't paying attention. I thought we were counting
30
down. I wasn't thinking that we were looking at the actual time.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was 10 minutes to 9.
And then it... 8:26. I'm confused. Okay. I guess I wasn't paying enough attention.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I mistook
When
what I
he
was
left
reading.
where he was tied up, it was 10 minutes to 9. It was 8:50.
Now it's 8:26. So something's counting down. I thought it was 9 minutes until all this stuff happened.
Yeah, I did too. Okay.
Yeah, it's like I thought it was the actual clock.
Yeah, it is. Deleted.
Either way, it's a long ass 9 minutes. Yeah, exactly. I do find it very interesting and clever when movies have a countdown and the time is correct.
Accurate, yeah.
But at the same time, it's entirely not necessary. Especially when you consider it's a 2-hour movie that, in this case, has encompassed 8 days. You know?
Mm.
So you stretch or compress time however you have to tell the story. Happy belated Halloween.
It's like, where's he gonna put that coin thing?
Does he even know what he's doing?
Yeah. So convenient that he can operate the...
Well, he remembers from
Oh, okay.
Okay.
from when he took the tour. And it's only 3 types of masks, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A skull,
A witch, the skeleton, the pumpkin.
and the pumpkin, right.
Yeah.
See, and they're all zapping because they're being exposed to the broadcast. That's kind of a clever idea.
It's like, you killed my robots.
Yeah.
Stonehenge is coming to get you.
Uh-oh.
That can't be good.
I mean, when you make a deal with the proverbial devil and fail, you're in trouble.
Hmm.
Wow. See, now I love these kinds of effects too. The rotoscoped kind of thing. I like that. It's just off-putting, you know? A lot of great use of that was made in At the Mouth of Madness.
It's been a bit since I've seen that one.
See, now he said it was 8:48 again.
It's confusing.
She's a robot.
Mhm. And she never really spoke after he rescued her.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, you don't really notice or think about that when you're initially watching it.
But when you know in advance and you can watch for it, now it's totally clear when they got her and when they replaced her with a robot.
Yeah.
So does that mean the real Ellie's dead?
Now,
I think
if
you're supposed to assume that. That's what I assume.
Now, if you were going to do this if this one was to become its own franchise and get a sequel, I could see the technology of Silver Shamrock being used by someone getting a government contract to make, soldier robots with a sideline of making sex bots.
Honey.
I mean, this is how evil people take over the freaking world. I ain't got nobody.
That's
sakes. Funny. Yeah. It's the hand is still animated.
Can't he just pull it down in a way?
Well, he had to build the suspense a little bit. Invasion of the body. Oh, shit. So the assumption is the real girl's dead.
Yeah.
And now it's 10-9.
Oh,
too bad the robot's not, for crying out loud.
Oh my gosh.
See, honestly, if this was real life, I'd have been like, "Are you dead yet?" And then been kicking the crap out of it.
Is that the same guy from the opening?
It is, yeah. He didn't go far enough away. Yeah, you know him. Too late. No, of course they don't. They don't believe you. And see, this is what I'm talking about. Everybody that he talks to, that he's trying to warn, they're going to find out the hardest way that it's real, and they're going to be racked with guilt later.
No. It's so random these kids would... Well, they were all supposed to... they were all instructed to watch. I just think it's so random they would just walk into the gas station and mess with the TV.
This is probably one of the best horror movie endings I've ever seen.
Yeah. And then that's it.
And that's it. We know what happens, though, because they already gave us everything we needed. That whole bit with the family in the room, all that was letting you know what was coming. And now we know he wasn't able to stop it, and it happened.
The baddies won in the end.
Yep.
Someone
Now,
was-
because there were multiple channels and they shut down 2 of the 3 channels, there was always the possibility that
Not
maybe
everybody.
his kids didn't catch it because
You
the
never
channel
know.
went
It's
out.
open-ended.
Wow.
Hmm.
I love that movie. Every time I see it, I seem to like it more.
Yeah,
It's just,
it's solid. It's solid.
man.
Because
Yeah.
him being able, if he was able to actually stop it, it would not have the same impact that it does. That
Right.
than
Right.
that final scene.
It's almost worse that he almost stopped it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And this is why I say, it was a partial success, right? Because he takes out the bad guy, blows up his, operation and everything. So maybe this can't continue, maybe. A lot of people probably did get killed because one of the networks was still carrying.
But did you
And
think
then-
it's interesting that he makes one phone call and that could shut down all the networks?
Like that.
I mean-
yeah.
How many times in history has something like this happened and it doesn't work? I mean, you hear about, the story about somebody trying to warn Pearl Harbor, there's something on radar, do something. They don't because they assume everything's fine. Oh, okay, it wasn't just a flock of seagulls. It was, it was an attack. That's kind of, history is full of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I
again,
really
there's
like
the
that
times
music.
in during the Cold War, there was the declassified story about the Russian guy who got a message that we're going to war to launch the nukes, and he was like, "No, I'm going to confirm this," only to
Yeah,
find
yeah.
out, it was an error, and if he had launched, it would have started World War III. I mean. So does it seem contrived? Yes, but it's actually happened throughout history.
Notice how much
know?
shorter the credits are for these movies. They don't go on for 5 or 10 minutes.
Mark Malakoff, it's a flight of B-17s. Don't worry about it. Well, there you go. Those are my only 2 in canon Halloween films, and they're not even in the same canon. They're an anthology. So there you go. What do you got coming up, Sin? Well, I know, but tell everyone else.
I think same thing I mentioned before I logged off last night. I've got this Alfred Hitchcock documentary review that I would like to put up this week because it comes out on the 25th. And what else? I don't think I have anything else filmed right now. Yeah, I don't have anything else filmed right now, but I'd like to film a review for a couple of movies that I saw recently. I just haven't gotten around to it. I've been so busy with work and travel and
I get
a little
you.
frustrating, but yeah, that's all I've got at the moment.
I got you.
Yeah.
And tomorrow night, you got
The live
movie
stream
you
was
saw
deleted.
tonight.
The movie we
Yep.
saw tonight, and then Wednesday night I'll be on Chainsaw Reacts channel. I think those might be the only live streams I'm on this week. I live by my Google Calendar, y'all. If I didn't, I wouldn't. I'm going to go see Venom 3 on Thursday, so hopefully get a review for that done on Thursday night. And
she logs into her Google Calendar. 7 days to Halloween.
Silver Shamrock.
Oh gosh.
yeah, so that's it for me for right now anyway.
And so I know that tomorrow night, of course, you and Deleted on the movie from tonight. Then Deleted and myself and Netter and Aged Boomer. The Other Side of Midnight, the penultimate episode of Twin Peaks: The Return. Followed immediately after by Blake 7, Seek, Locate, Destroy. Thursday, Netter.
Thursday, my special guest will be Tom Conkle.
Yep.
We will be having a very special giveaway since I have reached my 3,000 watch hours.
Be sure to tune in, boys and girls. for the special giveaway.
She
You
about
should
ready
just
to
see
throw,
the look I am giving
throw
him.
something at him.
At any rate,
I was expecting
although
to see
I'm not
flying across.
monetized yet.
Yeah.
See what I have to live with?
Yeah.
Can I finish
Yes,
now?
go ahead,
or,
finish.
I mean, if you want to continue,
No,
just
no,
feel
no,
free. So on Thursday, my special guest will be Tom Conkle, where we'll be doing a special giveaway of a autographed copy of Trouble Is My Business, because I have reached my 3,000 watch hours. Although I'm not monetized yet, I still have gotten my 3,000, so I'm part of the way there. And then after I actually get monetized, if Google can get their act together, I will have another special stream where I will be doing a giveaway of other things, just to say thank you to all y'all that helped me get to this point. But Tom will also be talking about and giving us an update on Island in the Stars. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah. I like that. Thanks, Mark. Monetizing that or not Disney. I agree. Absolutely.
No geek
Demonetize
flag.
Disney.
I don't think I have. Sorry. I was just reading his message and I got all my other tabs closed out, so I can't. Like it won't let me
That's interesting.
respond. It will only like on yours. This is the weird thing about StreamYard. So, like if I wanted to type, it would only send it to my things, not yours.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I
annoying.
don't like about StreamYard.
Yeah.
I will not be renewing my service with them in February. Yep. And of course, Saturday, Netters Network, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, will be the movie. And actually, I realize I've kept you guys all long enough because you guys already saw the coming attractions at the beginning of the film. So I am going to go ahead and wrap this up. Netter, last words?
Dearly beloved,
We are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Right.
We can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well good and fun. But it's so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat. And you're dropping the comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're all hanging out in the same room. We're enjoying each other's company and having a great time. And you guys, you know you're not just our friends. You are our family. We love you guys and we appreciate you so very much. And you could be anywhere right now and you're here at this hour.
Yeah.
It's like, hey,
On a school night.
As I was about to say, tomorrow is a school night, so that you're still here is greatly appreciated. So thank you all so very much for being here and for all the many ways that you support us, whether it's a comment in the chat, a thumbs up, sharing out our streams, for Troy, who is monetized, becoming a member, doing a super chat, super sticker, buying him a drink, whatever it may be. You know, even helping me get to my 3,000 watch hours. Thank you so much for those different ways that you support us, because we couldn't do this without you. I mean, we could, but it would be really
wouldn't be as
boring
fun
because it would just be us talking to ourselves.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting us, and thank you for being a part of our family. And until next time, which is, let's see, tomorrow night over on Deleted Scenes for Sparkwood and 21, followed by an exciting episode of Blake 7. Good night and God bless.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great one. Sin, we'll say goodbye on the other side of the credits.
Good night, ladies.
Good night, sir.
Hit it, sweetheart.